Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful day. We have already gone over a lot of the news. You had a couple of deals. You had Wolf, that's going to be the BS stock that everyone's going to pump today. You had a deal, OpenAI, NVIDIA with Path, and then Meta and CoreWeave. We are going to get the JOLTS jobs data. That'll be the first set of data that's going to start to paint this story for what today, we're getting ready for with jobs, but other than that, it's earnings after the bell with Nike, where we wrap up the month. We see how it starts and whether or not we get that end of the year front run down. Oh, it could be anything. So we got a lot of excitement here. We'll see where it takes us. It's going to be a good day, Chattadonia, and make the most of it. And other than that, we have already gone over the plays. I actually have a couple, so let me go over these. We only got 2 minutes, and then I'm going to go to the potty. So I'm going to be watching Baba, SLV, Baozan, Afira. That's the one with the FDA news and the LinkedIn drama. CoreWeave, they had the deal. Wolf, I hate this stock, but they're going to pump it. Path, that's the, I've told you guys about Path. They just had a really good deal today. So that one's going to be interesting. And then DPRO and Gilt, those are related to government contracts and drones. So we'll see where it takes us. But other than that, my friends... Oh, is Trump live? Well, I need to go. I need to go to the bathroom. We got 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Where is he? Judicial hearing. Oh, President Trump, he is live. Wow. It's my bell now.
We've all sworn a sacred oath to defend. We all have that oath, every one of us. I'm thrilled to be here this morning to address the senior leadership of what is once again known around the world as the Department of War. I know Pete spoke about it. He gave a great speech, I thought. Great speech. I don't want him to get so good. I hate that. You know? No, I hate it. I almost fired him. I said, you can't, I don't want to go on after that. No, he gave a great speech, but he talked about Department of War. We were sitting there. I said, didn't it used to be called the Department of War? And he goes, yes, sir. They changed it like in the early 50s. So we won the First World War. We won the Second World War. We won everything in between and everything before that. We only won. And then we went, in a way, woke. That was probably the first sign of wokeness. And we changed it to defense instead of war. And I said, what do you think? How do you think if we changed it back? Would that be a nice idea? And Pete loved it immediately. Some people thought about it. You know, they gave it a little thought. But in the end, we did it. And I have to be honest, it's so popular. I thought it would be met with fury on the left, but they're sort of giving up, I must be honest with you. They've had it. They've had it with Trump. They've been after me for so many years now. Here we are. Here we are. Come to the White House anytime you'd like. No, they've given up. They're bad, a lot of bad people. But all over, that's been so popular. It's been very popular. I really thought that we were going to have to sort of fight it through. There's been no fight. There's been no fight. Like what I called the Gulf of America, the Gulf of America, because to me it was always the Gulf of America. I could never understand. We have 92% of the frontage, and for years, actually 350 years, they were there before us. It was called the Gulf of Mexico. I just had this idea. I'm looking at a map, I'm saying, we have most of the frontage. Why is it Gulf of Mexico? Why isn't it the Gulf of America?
Right.
And I made the change, and it went smoothly. I mean, we had a couple of fake news outlets that refused to make the change, and then one of them, AP, took us to court, and we won. And the judge, who was a somewhat liberal judge, said the name is the Gulf of America, because AP refused to call it the Gulf.
All right, NASDAQ down by 0.10, and Russell, everything's matched up. You have no real move. There wasn't any crazy headlines.
The Gulf of America is the name. And the judge actually said that, in fact, you can't even go into the room because what you're doing is not appropriate. The name is the Gulf of America. Google Maps changed the name. Everybody did, but AP wouldn't. And then we won in court. How about that? Isn't that so cool? The Secretary Hexa beautifully described the name change reflects far more than the shift in branding. It's really a historic reassertion of our purpose and our identity.
Did the Babas open up yet? Why are my
That's
Babas being weird?
when we go with the word war. And you know, we want
And then QS, they had a deal
war
as well.
because we want to have no wars.
What was the other one?
But you have to.
And then there's Gilt in those other two, again, the
I
not the
have settled
biotech,
so
the drone
many wars
stocks.
since we're here almost 9 months, and I've settled 7. And yesterday we might have settled the biggest of them all, although I don't know. Pakistan, India was very big. Both nuclear powers, I settled that. But yesterday could be the settlement in the Middle East. That hasn't happened for 3,000 years. I said, how long have you been fighting? 3,000 years, sir. That's a long time. But we got it, I think, settled. We'll see. Hamas has to agree. And if they don't, it's going to be very tough on them, but it is what it is. But
Yeah, Rigetti was down.
Nations,
Again,
Muslim
there's your
nations
Wolf
have
stock.
agreed. Israel has agreed.
And then just watch your actually,
Amazing
Rigetti's coming
thing,
up.
it
They
just
were down
came together.
7%. They're break even right now.
War is very
That's
strange,
surprising.
you know. You never
I thought
know
it was
what's
red.
going to happen with war.
Constellation moving.
The
Again,
easiest one
watch
of
your
them
Mag
all
7.
is
See if you get a
Putin.
move.
I said,
Intel,
number one,
Micron,
it's a war that
TSM.
would have
Just
never
watch
happened
those.
if I were president.
In
If the election
general.
weren't rigged. If I were president, that war would have never happened. Not even a little chance. And it
Yeah,
didn't
all
happen
of the
for
China
4
names
years.
late.
But I knew Putin very well, and I thought that
Core
would be
weave
easy because I
continuing.
know
The
him so
options
well.
woke up, but
Well,
they're not like.
that one turned out to be the
Yeah.
hardest of them all.
There's a
yet.
couple. It just all
Some that
depends
were
on how
not
much it's going to
settlable, and they all
move. The
got
spreads are
settled.
extremely wide.
So if this works out that we did yesterday with the Middle East, then that's more than a war. That's lots of wars. That's all combined. That's a lot of wars. Many of you were over there in many different capacities in many different countries. That's a big part of the earth. But if that works out, it would be 8+. I could give myself 2 or 3 for that one. And then we just have the one to settle, and we have to settle it up with President Putin and Zelensky. Got to get them together. And get it done.
NEM. Who
But
was
the
the
only
other
way
one?
we can do that is through strength. I mean, if we were weak, they wouldn't even take
Guilt.
my phone
That one's
call,
only up
but,
2. Again, you
have
have the
extreme
SAS News
strength.
2 and then D-Pro.
we
That was the
had
other one.
the horror show.
Yeah,
in
D-Pro's the one
Afghanistan,
its
which
little
is
bit more.
really the
Core
reason I
weave
think
working
that
its
Putin
way
went in.
up.
You saw that horror show by
China.
Biden and his team.
Okay, China options aren't
Incompetent
open.
people.
They're moving slow. MTN
And
was
it
down.
showed,
They're
I
moving.
think it gave him a path in.
Costco
I
as
wasn't
well.
there any longer. I watched that, and it was so horrible. I think it was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country. And now we're back, and that's it. We're not going to have any of that crap happen, I can tell you. That was terrible, so terrible. Together we're reawakening the warrior spirit, and this is a spirit that won and built this nation, and from the cavalry that tamed the Great Plains to the ferocious, unyielding power of Patton Bradley and the great General Douglas MacArthur. These are all great men. In this effort, we're a team, and so my message to you is very simple. I am with you, I support you, and as president, I have your backs 100%. You'll never see me even waver a little bit. It's the way it is. And that includes our great police officers and firemen and all of these people that are doing so well. Together over the next few years, we're going to make our military stronger, tougher, faster, fiercer, and more powerful than it has ever been before. I rebuilt our nuclear, as you probably know, but we'll upgrade that also and just hope we never have to use it. We have to hope we never have to use it.
Fed call in, strong equity
The power
markets.
of that is so incredible. I see things I don't think they show
Yeah,
it to you.
D-Pro and
I
then
don't
Guild. Those are
want
2
them
contracts
to
back
show
to
it
back.
you.
Core weave going up. I
But when
just
you
sent
see the
out. I mean,
result
core weave, it's
of
simple. Just don't
what's
go
left,
too far out of the money.
wanna
But if
use
it comes
that.
down, those
Never.
are all going to drop
Never,
50%. But then if it goes from here,
We
even the
were
out
a
of the
little bit
money, as
threatened
long as you're not too
by
far out, they'll hit.
Russia recently, and I sent a submarine, nuclear submarine, the most lethal weapon ever made. Number one, you can't detect it. There's no way. We're 25 years ahead of Russia and China in submarines. Russia's actually
there's
second
core
in
weave.
submarines.
And then
China's
Dell
third,
popping
but
up here,
You know,
too.
they're coming up. They're coming up. They're way lower in nuclear, too, but in 5
Interesting.
years
And
they'll
then
be equal.
Robinhood.
They're coming up.
VRT,
And
high
they don't
ticker
have to
starting to
be
pick up, but the
that
NASDAQ,
good
or the
with
SPY's
nuclear.
coming
You
down.
could have
NASDAQ is the leader to the downside.
1/20th
Russell with
what
the
you have
bid.
now and
Couple
still do the
materials,
damage. That
FCX,
would be,
Albemarle on the low.
That'd be so
Interesting.
horrendous. But I
There's
announced
Wolf,
that, based
NB.
on his mention of nuclear, and it was really a stupid person that works for him mentioned.
Yeah,
the word
watch
nuclear.
SanDisk. I mean, I don't have any plays on it, but that move
A
yesterday
submarine or
was just
two.
odd.
I won't say
Really,
about
the last
two.
week of SanDisk has been amazing.
Over to the coast.
Yeah, Robinhood's
Of
waking
Russia.
up. It did that melt up
Just to be
yesterday.
careful.
There's
So we
core
can't
weave. Like I told you, those
let
just don't
people
go too
throw
far out
around
the money. You can, but
that word.
I have a range on there.
I call it the N-word.
Excuse me?
There are 2 N-words, and you can't use either of them.
The fuck you just say?
You can't use either of them. And frankly, if it does get to use, we have more than anybody else. We have better, we have newer, but it's something we don't ever want to even have to think about. But when somebody mentions it, that submarine started immediately thereafter. And it's just lurking, but I'm sure we're not going to have to use it.
Oh,
It's
nuclear.
amazing. It's undetectable, totally. Ours is, theirs isn't.
It's like,
Theirs
what?
are totally detectable. We can detect them easily. We go right to the spot. But we have genius apparatus that doesn't allow detection. It doesn't allow detection at all by anybody above water or below water. It's incredible. We're way ahead of everybody in that and other things.
I don't know what's...
As a result of the exciting renewal of the spirit of our armed forces, and that's what it is. It's really reaching that spirit, unprecedented heights. Over the past 8 months, new enlistments, I'm so proud of this, have surged to record highs, the highest we've ever had. And we used to have recruiting shortages. If you remember, about a year and a half ago, I was at the beginning stage of a campaign, and things came out that you couldn't get people to join the armed forces.
Yeah,
And by the way,
Tesla's
the police
flushing a
also-
little bit. Google
Fire
on the
department.
low.
I
It's
always
big
put the
tech
fire
starting to drop.
department
Nasdaq
because
down
they're
0.3. Like the high
They're
ticker's
great.
very
They got
active,
95%
but
of their vote,
you're
do
just
that.
going down now. SMCI
When you get
1.2. That's starting to
95%
pop.
of the vote, you always have to mention them.
SMCI.
But they're great. And they're brave in our inner cities, which we're going to be talking about, because it's a big part of war now. It's a big part of war. But the firemen go up in ladders, and you have people shooting at them while they're up in ladders. I don't even know if anybody.
Yeah,
heard that,
CNC, the premiums are launching.
said,
Remember,
don't talk
35,
about it
36
much,
right now,
but I think you
actually.
have to. Our
So you're
firemen
getting
are
to a
incredible.
breakout
They're
point
up
on
in one of these
CNC.
ladders
I'd
that
watch
goes
that.
way up to
Especially if
the sky,
XLV, UNH, and all the
rescuing
other ones
people,
go.
And you have animals shooting at them.
Coin on the high. Tesla's
Shooting
still
bullets at
dropping.
firemen
Again, that
that are
candle's still holding on
Way
SMCI.
up in death territory.
who's
You
the other
fall
one?
off that ladder,
CoreWeave.
it's over.
So that's the first red. Watch
It's
those
over.
premiums
They don't
if you
even
want to
have
double dip.
Inspect you when you hit the ground.
Excuse
And
me?
you have people shooting bullets at them in some of these
IWM,
inner
Russell's
cities.
back to break even.
You're not gonna
Yeah,
let that
that's
happen.
Russell's the first one to move right now.
So I always mention the firemen because that's actually a
And
big
Bob,
problem we have.
all right, let's see those
They are
fucking premiums.
unbelievable. Like you,
They're up like
unbelievable
30%.
people.
Should be
For
more.
the first time on record in 2025, the Navy, Air Force, and Space Force all met or surpassed their recruiting goals 3 months early. That never happened before. And the Army did even better. Congratulations, Army. They met everything. And these were the highest standards because we're making it larger. So these were much higher standards than you had 4 years ago, 3 years ago, during the sleepy Joe Biden era. And the Army did it 4 months early. And you remember, a year and a half ago, they said the big stories that we're way behind with the Army, Air Force, the Navy, the Marines. We're way behind, Coast Guard.
Not filling.
And even Space Force. I love Space Force because that was my creation. You know, when you create something, I love it. And the people we put in there were
Okay,
good. I
yeah,
got
Bobbers
that
are up
right.
30%.
We put in great
They
people
should be more.
initially, and we've really dominated. We really dominate in that sphere now. We're way behind China and Russia, and now we dominate. Space Force turned out to be a very important thing. I said from the beginning, you know, when Biden came into office, he wanted
SMCI's
to
up 2
terminate.
now.
He said, and this thing called Space Force, so we could get rid of that. And he got hammered by the people in this room for even suggesting it, because it's very important, one of the most important. And as time goes by, it'll get more and more important. But we're now at 106% of our recruiting targets for the year, and that's the best in far more than a generation. And for the Marines, morale is so strong that the Marine Corps will meet its 2026 retention targets before the end of October, which never happens. And that's the earliest it's ever happened in the history of our country. And it makes you feel good, you know. I felt guilty. I'd go make a speech in front of never people like you. You are the leaders, but people.
Yeah, Baidu
soldiers.
and Baidu, if it gets to
And
140, I mean, just keep that in mind.
felt
China
embarrassed because
China
of the
has woken
stories
up.
about,
Fucking Neo's moving.
you know,
That's
we
dude,
couldn't fill
every
up
other
our
day I'm waiting for Baozun,
Army,
but
Navy,
these
Air
smaller
Force, we
cap
couldn't fill
China
them up.
ones. Yesterday was Buki.
And
But yeah,
whose
watch if
headlines?
Neo comes up.
his headlines. It was during
And then
Biden's
JD.
4 years. The auto pen. I call him the auto pen. It's how would you like to have your thing signed by an auto pen? You know, when I have a
Path
general and I have
Wolf
to
on
sign
the
for a
high.
general
What a
because we have
terrible
beautiful
stock.
paper, the gorgeous
With
paper.
the new high up
I said throw a little
35%.
more gold on it. They deserve it. I want the A paper, not the D paper. We used to sign a piece of garbage. I said, this man's going to be a general, right? Yeah. I don't want to use this. I want to use
It'll be the first.
big,
Let me
beautiful,
see,
firm
but yeah,
paper.
it's going to be a
I wanna
positive
use
September.
the real gold
I think since
writing
2019.
when you talk about the position, and they're beautiful. And
STNG.
but how would you like to have that?
That
when
sounds
you-
familiar. I think we read a
Some
headline
kid
on that.
sitting in the back office is having
Gold
it
and
signed
silver down. Silver
with an
premiums
auto-
out. The
and I
money
thought
got
about it,
washed.
and I thought about you people first, admirals, generals. I said,
Ralph
somebody works
Lauren.
his whole life. He gets into maybe the academies or wherever, but however you got there, and you go through
TD,
years
all right,
of work,
Path
and
has
now you
came
become an
down
admiral or
20% from
general
that top.
or whatever. And when you do, the President of the United States signs your commission, as you know, and that commission is beautifully displayed. And I sign it. Actually, I love my signature. I really do. Everyone loves my signature. But I signed it very proudly. and I
Victoria's
always think to
Secret.
myself, how can you have an auto
They're
pen
up
sign
2.
this? It's just so
And then Amazon on the
disrespectful. To me, it's just
low.
totally
All big
disrespectful.
tech is not doing too
And it
high.
turned
And look
out
at the
that almost
bonds, you guys.
everything he
Holy
did was
shit.
signed by,
Hold on.
by auto
Yeah,
pen,
watch
except
because
for
if
when he
bonds
gave
are
his
now
son,
getting to the
Hunter,
Powell
pardon.
level.
He signed
Anything
that one.
TLT over 90 starts to
And
be
that's
a little
actually
bit
the
more in
worst
your
signature
favor.
I've ever seen. That was the bad. The auto pen looks much better.
TEM.
But as leaders, our commitment to every patriot who put on the uniform is to ensure that American military remains the most lethal and dominant on the planet, not merely for a few years, but for the decades and generations to come, for centuries. We must be so strong that no nation will dare challenge us.
Oracle
So
on the
powerful
low,
that
Pfizer above
no enemy will
25.
dare threaten us.
or
And
24.
so capable that no adversary can even think about beating us.
Staples not
we've had
too
it
high.
recently.
XLP's holding though.
I had India and Pakistan were going at it, and I called them both. And in this case, I used trade. I'm not going to trade with you. Used to 2 nuclear nations, big nuclear.
You're a member and you still get ads? Yes.
No,
Here,
you cannot.
I'm about to
do
send
that. I
another
said,
one.
Yes, I can.
Insert
You
ad.
go
You
into
should have
this
got
fucking
another.
war that I'm hearing about. You know,
Please
actually, they
focus,
just
all
shot
of
down
you.
7
I've already
planes.
banned
7
3 or
planes.
4
It was
people just
starting.
for like Trump complaining.
A lot of bad
You guys
blood.
need to lock in, bro.
And I said,
All right, like I'm listening into it in the background, but like it's
And
too early
I
for
stopped the
random
war.
shit.
It was
Give
going.
me a
it was
play. Give me
raging
info.
for
Or
4 days. but
otherwise,
that was
kindly
just
shut the fuck
beginning.
up. Thank
And
you.
we stopped it. It was a
NVIDIA.
great thing. And the Prime Minister of Pakistan was here, along with
All right.
the Field Marshal, who's a very important guy in
Yeah,
Pakistan. and he
SMCI
here
again. That was
3
2.5.
years ago.
So remember, like we were
And I
talking
didn't even
yesterday. That's why I'm
realize
saying
it
lock
as
in
beautiful as he
because
said it, but
if
he
we
said
get this
that
slow
to
move,
a
you're either
group
gonna
of
have to
people that were
position
with us,
now, and then you can
2
make a
generals,
move,
but a group.
or you're gonna have to wait till the end of the
He
day
said, "This
for
man
any of these
saved
things to go.
millions of lives
So
because
unless
he
we have like a
saved
real big day or
the war
headlines.
from going on, and that war was going to get
Who's
very
it?
bad.
That's why I like Core Weave.
Very,
I think
very
that might
bad.
be it.
President
so see where
Trump
that leads.
saved millions and
But none of
millions
those premiums
lives.
went up
That
yet.
was a bad war. And I was
Still
very
the same
honored.
price,
I loved
little
the way he said
fuckers.
it. Susie Wiles was there. She said that was the most beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But we saved a lot.
Soxel,
Of them.
Micron too.
Saved a lot of them. Even in Africa,
I
we
saw him
saved
pop on the low now, but it's
the
still
Congo
up. It's tripping me out.
with Rwanda.
All the China names. KGC
They've
gold
been
names
fighting
are
for
starting to
31
run.
Years, 10 million
RCAP
people
bonds
dead.
taking a bid too.
I got that one done.
That's your M and
And,
Chicago
very proud of it.
PMI
So if this works
came in
out,
lower by 10%
we'll have
almost.
8 in 8 months. That's pretty good. Nobody's ever done that.
So again, slightly weaker
Will you
data
get the
just came
Nobel
in.
Prize?
Little baby candle on
Absolutely
bonds.
not. They'll give it to some guy that didn't do a damn thing. They'll give it to a guy that wrote a book about the mind of Donald Trump and what it took to solve the wars. And he'll get the Nobel Prize will go to a writer. No, but well, let's see what happens. But it's be a big insult to our country. I will tell you that. I don't want it. I want the country to get it. But it should get it because there's never been anything like it. Think of it. So if this happens, I think it will. I don't say that lightly because I know more about deals than anybody. This is what my whole life was based on. And they can change, and this can certainly change. But we have just about everybody. We have one signature that we need, and that signature will pay in hell if they don't sign. I hope they sign.
Amazon
If they
event
run
at
good
9.
and
Let me
create
see.
something really great. But to have done 8 of them
And then let me check
is just
seasonality.
like such an honor.
Okay, bonds are straight up.
And then we have
TKO.
Putin
Hey yo,
and Zelensky.
TKO WWE
The
or whatever.
easiest one of them
Little
all.
baby pop.
I said, that one I'll get done. I thought that was going to be first. The others were much harder.
Are you our first
Some
pumper, Winston?
Azerbaijan.
You genius. Fuck yeah.
This
What
was
up,
going
bro?
on for
Wolf?
36
Fuck
years.
yeah.
He said,
Whoa.
it's not solvable, sir. You don't do it.
Woo!
I said, I will do it. I will do it. And I got on the phone with the two countries. They were great. They were great. I knew immediately. I knew as soon as I started talking to them, we're going to solve that war, and we did. Now they're so happy. Now they're friends. One said he's been president for 32 years.
Yeah, so this
22
is
years. He said, for 22 years I did
no, we
nothing
had
but
a
kill
positive September
these
last
people.
year.
They were in the room together at the
2024 was a
Oval
positive September.
And they started
And then
off
23 was
spread
red,
like this,
22,
had
21, and
beautiful
20 were red.
resolute tests.
4 years in a row.
And one
We broke
was
the streak
here,
last year.
and one was here.
You swear I
couldn't
could
get
see the
further away.
future?
That's
My
the
brother.
furthest I've ever seen two
I've been
people
telling
in
you,
front of
I
me.
think I can.
And as the hour
I'm
went
not
by,
good
they
at
got
it, though.
closer,
It's
closer,
definitely- I'm
closer.
definitely
and
a
at the end
baby.
of the hour, we had it done.
I ran
And
away
they
from the
hugged and
gift
hugged
for a
and
long
hugged. And I
time.
said,
But I'm starting to figure
that's
it
so
out.
nice, and you're going to remain friends. And I spoke to them, one of them the other day. He said, no, he's now my friend. But for 22 years, he's been the head of Azerbaijan for 22 years. And the other guy, great guy too, 7. And you know that
Eddie
war,
Toss,
that
too,
was
if
a
you
war
have
that
those
was
free
not
shares.
solvable.
I keep seeing that one
He said
move.
for 7 years. The other one said for 22 years. All I did was kill his people.
You
That's
thought
all
it
I've
was
done.
weird? I'm sure you did.
I
Sure
said,
you
well, we're
did.
going to put a stop to that.
You missed
So
the morning,
we
brother.
solved that.
I don't
So
take
it's a great
any.
thing. It's a
Just
great
I told you what
feeling.
to
You're
do on
saving
Wolf, you guys. You already
Kosovo
know. And I think a
serving-
lot of the
you're
comments are
saving so many
disingenuine. So
lives doing this, if you can do it.
call it a day, bro. Call
But
it
our
a day.
people
You
deserve
don't need to
nothing
act.
less than the very
It's shit.
best. And
Nothing about it is
we're never
interesting.
going to let them down. And if we can solve wars instead of you having to fight wars, wouldn't that be wonderful, right? Wouldn't that be wonderful? That's why one of the first executive orders I signed upon taking office was to restore the principle of merit. That's the most important word. Other than the word tariff. I love tariffs. Most beautiful word. But I'm not
Netflix
allowed
on
to
the
say
low
that
and
anymore.
Disney.
Tariff is my
Are?
favorite word. I love the word tariff. You know, we're becoming rich
Again,
as
nobody
hell.
reacted to the tariff
We have a
news
big case in
yesterday.
front of the Supreme Court, but I can't imagine. Because this is what other nations have done to us. And we have, great legal grounds and all, but you still have a case. It would be very bad if something happened. But I
Oh,
said,
where's the weed stocks, bro?
my favorite word
Yeah.
in the English dictionary is the word tariff. And people thought that was strange. And the fake news came over and they really hit me hard on it. They said, what about love? What about religion? What about God? What about wife, family? I got killed when I said tariff is my favorite word. So I changed it. It's now my 5th favorite word. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
He's okay with that, guy.
But they hit me hard. But it is. I mean, when you look at, we've taken in
I forgot the weed
trillions of
stocks. The
dollars.
premium still
We're
washed.
rich.
Buy coming down.
rich again.
Well, yeah, we haven't heard anything
There'll
on
never
that.
be, when we finish this out, there'll never be any wealth like what we have. Other countries were taking advantage of us for years and years. You know that better than
SPRC, that's
anybody.
up 15.
And now we're
Core weave, like
treating
I'm
them
saying
fairly.
here. So
But
I
the
think
money
you got
coming in
more of
is
the
we've
move
never seen
here.
anything like
But
it.
if
The
it
other day
stays
they had
pinned like this,
$31
it's going to
billion that
move
they
later
found.
in the day.
$31 billion. So we found $31 billion, and we're not sure from where it came.
CRISPR, watch ARC
The
too.
gentleman
I mean,
came in,
Homegirl was
financial
on
guy.
TV yesterday.
I said, well, what does that mean? He said, we don't know where it came. I said, check the tariff shelf. No, sir, the tariffs haven't started in that sector yet. I said, yes,
Financials
they have.
holding,
They started
utilities about to
7
go
weeks
red.
ago.
Again, staples are in a
Check
weird
it.
spot. They're
Comes
going
back
red right
20
now.
minutes later. Sir, you're right. It came from tariffs.
Rick
31
Bobo.
billion. That's enough to buy a lot of
Synopsis,
battleships.
that's up 2.
Admiral.
Adabe's moving up right now.
To use an
Adabe,
old
some
term.
candles.
I think we should maybe start thinking about
$2 on
battleships, by
Adabe.
the way.
Now Pinduo.
You know, we have a Secretary of the Navy came to me because I look at the Iowa out in California and I look at
Pinduo Duo and Baozun.
different ships.
And now
the old
Adobe, bigger
pictures. I
volume,
used to watch
$3.
Victory at Sea. I love Victory at Sea. Look at these admirals. It's got to be your all-time in black and white. And I look at those ships. They came with the destroyers alongside of them, and man, nothing was going to stop. They were 20 deep, and they were in a straight line, and there was nothing going to stop.
I don't know about
them.
Robin
We
Hood,
actually
but they
talked
got
about, you know,
people were calling them out
those ships,
yesterday.
some people would say
Apparently,
no, that's
they
old
have a bunch
technology.
of
I don't know.
anti-MAGA
I don't think it's
people.
old technology.
Which,
When you
I
look
mean,
at
I have
those
my own
guns.
stories with them, but
It's something we're actually
yeah.
considering, the concept
Otherwise,
of
I don't know.
battleship.
I think they're shit.
Nice 6-inch sides, solid steel, not aluminum. Aluminum that melts. if it
Adabe
looks at a
again,
missile
that's only
coming at it.
0.7.
starts melting as the missile's about 2 miles away.
Target's starting to climb too.
No, those ships, they don't make them that
Yeah,
way
Etsy's
anymore,
getting
but you
moved
look at it
to
and,
like NYC or something.
Your
There's
secretary
Gil.
likes it. And
Oh shit, that one went.
Sort of open to
So that was the one in the morning.
and
It wasn't up
bullets are a lot less
5%.
expensive than missiles.
Damn.
A lot of reasons. I should take a vote, but I'm afraid to take that vote because I may get voted out on that one. But I tell you, it's something we're seriously considering. There were powers. There were big powers. They were just about as mean and scary as you could be. And so we're looking at that. One of the biggest cases
Unity
that
got a
we won was the
downgrade.
decision of the United States Supreme
XPO
Court
on the
to
high.
allow us
Pfizer's
to
still
proceed
going, and then Tencent. That's another
the word
healthcare
merit.
company. Visa had
Merit.
stablecoin news this
So
morning.
those two words are
And
right
BACT
up
is
there.
going. Actually, BACT
So
is
this
going up.
I would say
There was
the
Visa
opposite of
stablecoin
US
shit
for
earlier. I don't know if that's
definition.
related,
The
but watch.
opposite of political
BACT is starting to wake up.
correctness.
It's a shit stock.
We went through political
NNE on the
correct,
low. More
where
healthcare. HCA on the
you had to
high.
have people that were totally unfit to be doing what you're doing for many reasons. I
Yeah,
won't
Target's
get
starting to
into.
wake up right now. I saw
But
that.
For many reasons, they were
It's not
unfit.
too crazy. I wouldn't say
Now,
it's news, but it's moving.
It's all based on merit. That was such an unbelievable decision. I didn't
Amazon
expect we
into
were
the
gonna win that
low.
one. We went in. We said we need it. We went in for colleges, where kids with a C average are
Cygnus,
getting into the
a lot of
best
healthcare is moving up,
colleges,
actually.
And
Again,
kids with
BACT,
A
biggest
averages
volume
won't get
there
in, and
of the day, up
kids with the
13. I don't know what it
highest boards
is.
And the highest marks are the best marks.
Trump to
couldn't get
announce
into
drug
the best
pricing with
schools,
Pfizer.
and People that had
There it is.
not good boards and not very good marks. I mean,
Again, that was
okay,
already
but
moving up
nothing
there,
special.
leading into it, and
They
then
were
I don't know
getting
what's up
into
with
our best
BACT.
colleges. I said, this is just crazy. You can't run a country like this. And it was lingering for years, and it got to the Supreme Court, and we won that decision. Merit, everything's based on merit. You're all based on merit. We're not going to have somebody taking your place for political reasons because they are politically correct. and you're not.
XLV. Oh, that has to
We
be
take the
Pfizer then.
people
Somebody's
that are gonna
moving.
do the
And
best
Humana.
job. That's all. It's very simple.
Nah, because
And
XLV
that's the
shouldn't
way
be
our
popping
country
like
was
that.
built. We were built on
So
merit.
yeah, you got
We got away
Pfizer
from it
moving.
for a
Pfizer
long
options
time.
are a little difficult sometimes, but
And everyone understands
if
it,
there's good
and
news, that could
it
be
was
nice.
done. It was approved. I give great credit to the Supreme Court because
Yeah, I
think
saw
they
it
had
off a little bit.
tremendous courage. I didn't think they'd do that.
And
That
then
was
BACT again.
tremendous.
SPY near the
I give
low.
maybe
Bonds
for
are
that
still in their own
decision
little world.
Almost more than anything.
Again, you got a
because
baby headline there
it's
for
a hard
Pfizer.
decision to make. It's really hard. The apparatus of our country was not set up for merit. It was set up for political correctness. And you can never be great if you're going to do that. And we're going to be greater than we ever were before. We're bringing back a focus on fitness, ability, character, and strength. And that's because the purposes of American military is not to protect anyone's feelings. It's to protect our republic. And it's the republic that we dearly love. It's to protect our country. We will not be politically correct when it comes to defending American
makes
freedom.
sense.
And we will be a fighting and winning machine. We want to fight, we want to win, and we want to fight as little as possible. You have to count on people like me to keep you out of wars because we don't want to go into wars. Many of the wars that I just told you about, we could have entered those wars and settled them in a different way, lose a lot of our troops. And we could have settled them, I guess, differently. Maybe not, actually. Actually, you might not have been able to settle them. We just would have been in the middle of a lot of firepower.
Oil rocketing.
But when we do need
Odd.
it,
And
you
then
gotta be
Merck,
so
bro. A
ready.
lot of healthcare names are popping.
And you know it. But very importantly, with that goal in mind, I've committed to spending over $1 trillion on our military in 2026, and that's the most in the history of our country. $1 trillion. That's a lot of money. I hope you like that. Ma'ams and sirs, I hope you like it. That's a hell of a lot of money. We have the best of everything. Every branch is seeing
Yeah,
major
Trump to announce
investments,
drug
and
pricing
as I
deal with
announced
Pfizer,
in the
WAPO.
Oval
Hitting
Office
again.
in March,
So the Pfizer
we
one's
are
hitting.
rapidly moving forward with the first ever 6th generation fighter jet. I didn't name it. I did not name it. Boeing came in and they said, sir, this is our submittal. It's the greatest fighting jet ever done. And you know, they're testing all these planes. All the companies are
CRISPR, I
testing.
saw
This
that one
tested
earlier.
like
And
through the roof.
UNH, CRISPR taking a candle.
And they said,
Again,
"We'd
Pfizer's
like to
actually
name it the
moving. If it could go above, this is big now.
I said, "I don't
Pfizer
know
does not
anything
usually
about it."
move like this, so you get above
And after
25,
thinking for about
it'll
2
be
seconds,
good, and
I
then we'll
said,
see what
"Okay."
the thing is.
You know what that means? 47. I'm 47.
I know Reddit anti-thesis
so
play did not work
46,
so far.
and 47. Yeah,
And
if you think
CNC.
about it. I just
yeah,
don't want
Reddit's
the credit
getting
for
worked.
46. I
Can't
don't
believe
wanna
they're
have
letting
their,
Intel outperform them.
open borders and people
dare you.
coming
Oh
in
my
from
gosh,
all
you
over
guys,
the world,
Wolf.
including jails and mental institutes.
you
I don't
guys
want
see
that on
Wolf?
my record, but I like having it. We're investing tens of billions
Somebody
of dollars
should pay
in
me
modernizing
$5
our
to tell me
nuclear
about Wolf.
deterrence capabilities like
No,
never
okay.
before.
All right, fine.
And we've begun construction on what we call the Golden
Abby
Dome
Vi,
missile
holy
defense
shit.
shield. It'll be the most sophisticated.
Abby
in
Vi
the world. You
225,
watched it
52-week high.
do well until they had some problems at the end with a little bit of a lack of ammunition, defensive ammunition, but they've got that taken care of. But I tell you, it's what we're doing is so good, and we deserve it. You know, we help other countries with it. We don't have it ourselves. And Canada called me a couple of weeks ago. They want to be part of it. To which I said, well, why don't you just join our country? You become 51, become the 51st state, and you get it for free. So I don't know if that made a big impact, but it does make a lot of sense. It actually makes, because they're having a hard time up there in Canada now, because as you know, with tariffs, everyone's coming into our country. We have more investment than we've ever had before, $17 trillion coming in. As an example, in 4 years, Biden didn't have $1 trillion. We have 17 trillion more than that in 8 months coming in. And they're coming in from Canada, Mexico, from Europe, from all over. AI, auto plants. Everybody's coming back to the United States. Under my budget, we will be expanding the U.S. Navy by at least 19 ships next year, including submarines, destroyers, assault ships, and more. And it's going to be much more than that as we go along, because we basically don't build ships anymore. We do build submarines, but we don't build ships. Do you know in the Second World War, they were freighters and different types, but we were doing a ship a day, and now we don't do ships. And I'm not a fan of some of the ships you do. I'm a very aesthetic person, and I don't like some of the ships you're doing aesthetically. They say, oh, it's stealth. I say, that's not stealth. An ugly ship is not necessary in order to say you're stealth. By the way, the B-2 bombers were incredible. That is stealth. They went into that. I was with General Kane and Pete were in we call it the war room, but we're watching them go in, and they were totally untouched. They were not seen. They were literally not seen. They dropped their bombs. They hit, every single one of them hit its target. It was total obliteration. CNN, when we came back, fake news CNN, oh, their camera just went off. Look, you know, their camera, every time I mention them, they turn the camera off because it's never good. They say, this is a problem. But I don't blame them. You're better off keeping it off. But
yeah, Abercrombie, I don't know, it
some
moved.
Scammer.
It was like $2, but nothing big. SMCI again.
Started saying, without
that
any
doesn't look like
knowledge,
news.
that
SPY's back a
he
little
may
bit below
not have
open. Bond still
hit the
holding up.
targets as well as
Yeah,
they
jobs
thought.
data in 30
It
seconds.
may not been obliteration. He
So
did
get
hit
ready.
the targets, and I got to give us a little credit, right?
You're going to want to,
It was
what's it
obliteration,
called?
it turned out.
You
The
want a
Atomic
low
Energy
number.
Commission said it was obliteration.
But if it's too low, people are going to freak out. What's the number?
And think of this here.
Yeah,
Way
anything
up in the
below like
sky,
6,
there was no moon. It was
I think people
dead
panic.
dark.
But
Couldn't
anything
see a
6
thing.
to 7 is fine.
You couldn't see them, but they had, I guess, a beam going
Expectation
right
is
into these
7.1.
chutes. Every single one of those bombs went right down those chutes into a granite mountain. I think it's the last time they're going to build air chutes.
7.227.
They had these air
Estimate
chutes
was
that were
7.2.
nice, beautiful.
So
They
perfectly
were
in
meant
line,
for
pretty
us.
much.
But it
Slightly
was
hotter,
total obliteration.
which means it's better
And now
than
they
not.
give us credit for that.
So yeah,
But these
really
people
only
were
outliers. That might kill
phenomenal. I tell
bonds,
you, for the Air
but
Force people here,
an outlier would have destroyed
you
it.
can be very proud.
So that was
detail,
in
we just
line.
ordered
Conference
lot
board
of,
was a
new
little bit
ones,
below, 94.2
new
versus
ones
96.
and, updated ones, but I'd take the other ones. Let me tell you, they couldn't have worked any better.
Apple,
So they flew for 37 hours.
and then more health,
total, back and
Cardinal,
forth.
CAH.
No stops, no nothing. We had 52 tankers loading them up. And that's a job I wouldn't necessarily want too much, flying a tanker, loaded up with hundreds of thousands of gallons of
Okay,
fuel.
SPY starting to move. I think
I
the
don't know
market
about
might
doing
like
that.
it, but
Yeah.
just watch what bonds do.
I asked the question, what happens
If
it
anything,
gets
I'd
hit?
say
Sir,
it
you
doesn't
don't wanna
really
know
give you a
about that.
signal.
Right? I
Like
don't
we
wanna know
said,
about
all right,
that.
Trump, shut up.
But those guys, they just hear us. They're-
So like I was telling you guys in the morning, and even yesterday, we were looking for the jobs data to start giving us a read on this week, because Friday is going to be crucial. with what we get, but that was so smack dab in line. Even conference board, all of it's a little bit lower in line. It's just gonna keep feeding the same narrative that we have. So other than that, though, you get your punter special teams out, because you got to wait till the next set of jobs data now that that's out the way. But we're probably gonna dance around. I can't believe he's still talking, man. You've been doing this since before the bell. It's been 30 minutes.
Democrats, they never do.
They never do.
Not only are we rebuilding our great strength, but for the first time in years, my administration is actually using that strength to defend the core and vital interests of America. And very simply, we are putting America first. And I have since I've been elected. I've always put America first. It's sort of simple.
Bach is still going, whatever that was when we saw it.
My campaign was run
and now NVIDIA, AMD, IBM, and Bach, the big candle. Big candle into the high. A lot of tech, a lot of chips.
Districts.
You even had Apple recently moving there. Yeah, it's NVIDIA and everything in between.
Versus 525.
Yep.
We won every swing state.
Marvel, NVIDIA.
We won the popular vote. We won everything. We won everything. You have to take a look at the map. It's almost entirely red, except there's a little blue line on each coast, and I think that's going to disappear too. We did really great, and part of it is because of our success with the military, the rebuilding of the military. The vote
KKR
that I got from
on the
the
low.
military.
All right.
Interesting
set of names on the low. A couple of software, a couple of financials, but a lot of chips, a lot of tech are booming right now. That's it. The last 3 minutes here after the data. Bonds are getting a bid. It was slightly in line or slightly lower, and then tech just started ripping chips specifically.
But fortunately, the military didn't believe it. It's hard. You know, they make up a statement and they said, you say it.
Let's get your checkup.
We had 25 people that said he never said that.
It should be all-time highs, or give or take.
25 affidavits.
16 green on Dow, 14 red. NASDAQ 50-50, literally. And then S&P 260 green, 234 in the red.
People aren't believing it. We need an honest press. We need borders. We need borders. We need an honest press. We need fair elections. I mean, those three things. And we don't have an honest press. We have a really corrupt press. But we fight through the corrupt press.
Dude. Bach was a hitter. I don't know. We didn't have a headline, but that did move like 12% right in front of us.
Because you can't get a fair shake if you're going to rely on somebody else. They just, they don't understand. They've destroyed the image of media now is at the lowest point it's ever been. It's lower than Congress. Can you believe that? It's something. But together with many of you in the room, we've brought back the fundamental principle that defending the homeland is the military's first and most important priority. That's what it is. Only in recent decades did politicians somehow come to believe that our
so there you go. I mean, like I'm saying, now Microsoft too, but all the chips just woke up. That little move off the bottom is all NVIDIA and chips. I think you could see it. They were down earlier. It's coming up now.
No different than a foreign enemy, but more difficult in many ways because they don't wear uniforms. At least when they're wearing a uniform, you can take them out. These people don't have uniforms. But we are under invasion from within. We're stopping it very quickly. After spending trillions of dollars defending the borders of foreign countries, with your help, we're defending the borders of our country from now on. We're not going to let this happen. Biden let people come in from prisons, mental institutions, drug dealers, murderers. You know, we had 11,488 murderers allowed into our country by this guy who had no clue. He had no clue. He shouldn't have been there in the first place, but he had no clue. The people that ran the office.
Yeah, Conagra. I mean, I think you want it because every time you brought it up, I've told you I don't want it, and then you bring it up.
People,
but yes, they do have earnings.
Dumb as hell when it came to policy.
It's low on. It's not. I wouldn't put it on my list for long-term stocks.
They allowed people from all over the world, from the Congo. They opened up prisons in the Congo. They came into our country totally unmatched, unvetted, unchecked. And
GLD
from
and
all
Intel.
over South America, not just South America. You know, you think South America. No,
wasn't there just a war headline?
Venezuela.
Or something on weapons, but LMT
started
to move. And then
into
SPY coming down, that's probably all chips.
One of the worst gangs ever.
So watch, next like 20, 30 minutes, see if the chips continue, see what comes up, or if chips give back, see who holds. But that's going to determine pretty much everything.
It's embarrassing to say this. Now I can say it because we solved it, but Washington, D.C. was the most unsafe, most dangerous city in the United States of America. And to a large extent, beyond.
All right,
And
I had a
beyond
weird
that.
random 1,000
There
percenter.
was you go to
I thought it was
Afghanistan,
fake, but
they
it had
didn't
a
have
bid.
anything
I
like
just sold
that.
it.
You
It was
go
on
to
Hillen
countries
brand.
that you would think there's problems, they didn't have that. And now Washington, D.C., after 12 days of serious intensity, we took out 1,700 career criminals. If you have 5 career criminals, they can make your
Ooh,
numbers look
PGY
very
getting
bad.
flushed.
Because
ARRY
they're
on the
committing
high,
many
and then
crimes a
RSG
day.
on the high, too.
But we took out 1,700.
Okay, Spy, those 3 candles just gave it all back up. More
They
healthcare.
did an unbelievable
Abbott,
job.
Merck.
Then they started even cleaning.
Now even Staples
I
are
said, I
coming
don't
up.
want them doing that.
Coca-Cola,
Sir,
and then
they were
McDonald's was
cleaning
running
it up.
earlier.
I drove through it 2 days ago. It was beautiful. People are walking down the street holding hands, man and wife, coming from Iowa. They're not worried about being shot. Washington, D.C. is now a safe city.
Yeah, Merck.
In fact, I went out to dinner
So
with
watch
my
Merck.
crew.
I stream
had
alerted
a-
that one out with the
done
Pfizer,
that.
just
Theory, I
because
wouldn't
that's
do
a
it.
deep value American
And
play
I
as
felt
well.
totally safe.
And then UNH, another
And
candle.
nobody's been
Something's going on with
attacked.
healthcare, you
Nobody's
guys.
been hurt. Washington, D.C.
You're getting a bid on them.
went
We've
from our
already got
most
healthcare
unsafe
rumors, and then
city to just
those are
about our
starting to
safest
really
city
outperform.
in a period of a month.
1%,
We had it
1.5%,
under control
2%
in
on a day
12
like
days.
today. I mean,
But give
that
us
stands
another
out.
15, 16 days. It's perfect. And people other than politicians that look bad.
You want me to
think,
turn
you
this
know,
guy off? He's the
the
president of the
Democrats
United States.
run most
Rohel.
of the cities that are in bad
Unfortunately,
shape.
it's
many
easier
cities
to
in
turn
great
you
shape
off.
Too, by the way, I want you to know
So
that.
please show some respect.
It seems
If
that
you
the
want, though, you could go
ones that are
anywhere
run
you'd
by
like.
the radical left Democrats,
unfortunately,
what they've done to San Francisco,
I don't fuck with
Chicago,
y'all. I
New
want
York,
work. Give me
Los
plays.
Angeles.
Give me plays.
They're
Give me
very
plays.
unsafe places, and we're going to straighten them out one by one.
RTX again.
And this
Like
is
I'm
gonna
telling
be
you,
a major
UNH,
part
even
for
though the
some of the
guy
people
is
in this
annoying,
room. That's a
whatever.
war, too.
There's
It's a
still some
war from
plays here.
within.
RTX waking up.
Controlling the physical territory
And gold.
of our border is essential to national security. We can't let these people in. You know,
Yeah,
we had
every
no
single
people
healthcare just took a
enter
fucking
in the last
candle.
4
BSX
months.
now, too.
0. Even I can't believe that. You know, we had millions coming in, pouring in. 25 million all told, and of those 25 million, many of them should never be in our country. They would take their worst people and their people from prisons and jail, and they'd put them in a caravan, and they'd walk up. CNN was interviewing one person. Oh, why are you coming? I want freedom. Good. Were you in jail? Yes. For what? Murder. I said, you were in for, you had to see this anchor, a young woman. She's like, I couldn't believe. She'll probably lose her job, but because the left doesn't want to hear that. But we're running it based on common sense and based on love of our country. But I want to salute every service member who has helped us carry out this critical mission. It's really a very important mission. And I told Pete, we should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for
Micron.
our military, National Guard, but military.
See, we should use them as
'Cause we're
training
going
grounds.
into Chicago very soon. That's a big city with an incompetent governor. Stupid governor, stupid. They threw him out of his family business. He was so stupid. I know the family. He becomes governor. He's got money. Not money that he made, but he ran for governor, he won, and now he criticizes us all the time. And last week they had 11 people murdered, 44 people shot. The week before that they had 5 people murdered, 28 people shot. Every weekend they lose 5, 6. If they lose 5, they're considering it a great week. They shouldn't lose any. You shouldn't lose any. This is civilization. And he's always up there saying, we're in very good shape. We don't need the military. No, they need the military desperately. How about Portland? Portland,
Bonds,
Oregon,
90
where
now. Like
it
I
looks
told you,
like
you got bonds at power
a
level.
war zone.
So that's different
And I
than
get
this
a call
week.
from
We've had a
the
lot of
Liberal
back and
governor.
forth for it to be there.
Sir, please
CVS
don't come
and
in. We
airlines
don't
on the
need you. I
low.
said, well, unless they're playing false tapes.
Yeah, CVS
This looked
flushing
like World
about
War
$1
II.
down now. 1.2
Your place
could be
is
something.
burning down.
No headline yet.
I mean, you
Eli
must be
Lilly
kidding.
and
Sir,
NVO
we have it
popping
under
as well,
control. I
too,
said,
now.
You don't have it under control, Governor, but I'll check it, and I'll call you back. I called her back. I said, this place is a nightmare. It's certainly not the biggest, but it's one of the worst. It's brutal. They go after our ICE people, who are great patriots and tough job too, but they love it. They love it because they're cleaning up our country. And so you look at some of the things where they took over parts of Seattle. They actually took over a big percentage of Seattle. Think of that. You remember that. That was a while ago. And I sent in the troops and they were gone. As soon as I sent them in, when we send in the troops, if you have a real leader that says you got to do what you have to do, I put that out the other day. You got to do what you got to do because we don't want our people hurt as they stand by. I was watching during Biden, there were troops standing up like this, brave, standing up at attention.
Oh, it could impact CVS. That makes sense. Just watch healthcare. Something's brewing there.
People are standing.
I just made a healthcare play.
Far away from them.
Keep them small. I got this week and next week, but something's brewing.
And that soldier standing there, he wants to knock the hell out of the person, but he's not allowed to do anything. So they
gold,
just stand there,
brother.
they get abused,
So gold went red to green deep. Staples are on the high now too. They were fucking up earlier. Now they're starting to get a quarter. Still very small.
If it's okay
now we got
with
Guild.
you,
That's
generals
another
and
value
admirals,
healthcare name.
Taking that off. I say they
McCormick
spit,
on
we
the
hit.
high.
Is that okay?
That
I
one's
think
not
so.
related to anything.
They spit. It's a new thing. They spit, we hit. How about the cars where the cars are coming out? They get brand new cars, Border Patrol, ICE, beautiful, nice new cars. And they're driving along and they have to go through a gauntlet of rocks being thrown at the car.
Procter
So
Gambling.
here's this beautiful brand new
Clorox
car. By the
now,
time it
too.
goes 100 yards, it's destroyed.
It's destroyed.
These guys have pretty good arms, some of them. And they're throwing bricks at full force into the window and into the car. It looks like it's a war zone. And I said, never let that happen again. From now on, if that ever happens, and I say it here, you get out of that car and you can do whatever the hell you want to do. Because those people are, you can die from that. Those bricks go through the windows. You can die. They'd like it to. They'd like it to go through the window. But this was a couple of months ago. They just kept driving and bricks are hitting the car. And I said, why aren't they stopping? Because they were under orders from the past administration, never stop. But that's different with us. We stop. And since I gave that order, we haven't had that problem. It's very interesting. It's amazing. It's just like in Venezuela. You've seen the boats going. We can't find any more boats. They're carrying drugs, massive. Every boat kills about 25,000 people. That's what they have. They had fentanyl mostly and a lot of other drugs. And we take them out, and we've taken out 4. So, and it's on air. Everybody gets to see it. Not that we like to do that, but every boat kills 25,000 on average. 20. Some people say more. You see these boats, they're stacked up with bags of white powder. That's mostly fentanyl and other drugs too. And now we have a problem.
Guild and
There are no
GDX.
boats out there. Not even fishing boats. They don't want to go fishing. I don't blame them. There'll be no fishing today. But it's amazing what strength will do, because all we want to do is stop drugs from flowing into our country. It's destroying. We lost 300,000 people died last year. Everybody knows friends, many friends probably, that you lost a child, or adults too, but you lost a son or daughter because of what's coming into our border.
Okay, NVO.
And
yeah, and
making
Lily.
it very hard. Oh, and we haven't even started yet. Last month I signed an executive order to provide training for a quick reaction force that can help quell civil disturbances. And this is going to be a big thing for the people in this room, because it's the enemy from within, and we have to handle it before it gets out of control.
J&J,
It won't
bro,
get
that's
out of
another
control.
one. Now
Once
MTN,
you
that was
get
value
involved,
struggling in the morning.
They all joke.
Yeah,
They
they're
say,
still
"Oh, this
down
is
though.
not good."
And then Ball.
You saw it in Washington. We had gangs of Trenday Arag with 10, 12, 15 kids. And
Core
these
weed
military
started to
guys
climb
walk
back up,
to
if
them,
that could actually go.
and they treat them with disrespect.
Yeah,
and they
gold
just
did
got
start going up
pounded.
after the numbers.
They just got pounded. The gang just pounded. Then thrown into
Uzura.
paddy wagons and taken back to their country. Some are so dangerous we don't want to even do that, because we don't want to. Some of stone cold murderers, we don't have the confidence. Even though they're not coming back very easily, we don't have the confidence. We put them in jails. But these service members are following in a great and storied military tradition, from protecting frontier communities to chasing outlaws and bandits in the Wild West.
I'm moving,
And
so
our history is filled
I'm
with
going through. I
military
have these
heroes
plays
who
with these bids.
took on all enemies.
Some are up, some are
foreign
down. I'm
and
going to take
domestic.
them all,
You know
and
that
I'm
phrase?
using them for
Very
ammo
well.
for China.
That's what the oath says.
Well, I
foreign
have
and
these
domestic.
plays that
Well,
are
we
like,
also
they're
have
not optimal.
domestic.
They're too far out.
George
I
Washington,
just sold one
Abraham
in the money
Lincoln, Grover
for pretty much
Cleveland,
break even.
George
I don't think it's
Bush,
going to do as well.
and others all use the armed forces to keep domestic order and peace. Many of our leaders used the military to keep peace. Now they like to say, oh, you're not allowed to use the military. And you know what the people say? The people in those cities where they're being raped and shot and beat up, you know what they say? We love the military. You ever see where they interview the people on the street? I've never seen somebody say they don't, unless they're radical and paid off, because a lot of these insurrectionists
Ladies
are
and
paid
gentlemen, boys and girls,
whether it's
I need to
Soros
mute
or
the
other
President
people,
of the
they're paid by
United
the
States of
radical
America.
left.
You know why?
So today,
Because Bradley Frizzle and the Peach is here, baby. Every day. Consistency. A long-term horn. God bless you, Bradley Frizzle. Thank you for providing to the people. Oh, with symbolism and action and image. Oh, and you have a long-term toe. So God bless you, Bradley Frizzle. Sorry, you guys. That was a brief message from our sponsors, not sponsors, the Peach Nation. Get your ass up. You are blessed. It's an amazing day.
tell this to the liberal media. You could spend time with them. You could do whatever you want. You could send them to the finest schools, which they couldn't get into anyway, mentally. They couldn't get in, but no matter what you do, they'll never be good. They're bad. They're career criminals. I don't know, maybe they were born that way. Some people don't like me to say that, but maybe they were. Certainly some were. Together with the leaders here today, we're also restoring a needed focus on defeating threats in the Western Hemisphere. Throughout this region, cartel terrorists have been allowed to wage a relentless campaign of death and destruction on our country, all because we had weak leadership on top. And we did a great job with it first term, but this is something else what we're doing now. We're taking it to the next level, probably next level times 3. But we had COVID come up, and we had to take care of that. We did a great job with COVID. We had the therapeutics, it was just Regeneron, so many things we did for COVID, but we had to focus on that, and every other country in the world was being decimated by COVID. So we had to change gear a little bit to take care of that. But under our leadership, the military is now the knife's edge in combating this sinister enemy. We have to put the traffickers and cartels on notice, and we've done that. And we've put them, a lot of them, we've called them a terrorist organization, which is actually a big thing to do. Nobody's done it, but I've done it with a lot of them. It gives you a tremendous advantage. If you try to poison our people, we will blow you out of existence, because that's the only language they really understand. That's why you don't see any more boats on the ocean.
Oh, you guys can't see it? My bad.
Around Venezuela.
I'm moving, baby. I'm making moves.
As president,
Gold on
I
the
will
high.
never hesitate to defend our people from threats.
Yeah, bro. Gold just woke up after the jobs report.
violence from
Like crazy.
The horrible plague that's taking place from within. The Iran nuclear power, the Iran, all of the great power that we thought existed, we blew it out to kingdom. We took advantage of it, and we just really took advantage of it, and it was a beautiful thing to see, and that's what military power can achieve. That's why I chose Raising Cane. He's fantastic, by the way. I hope you all agree. If anybody disagrees, could I please have your hand? Who disappears at Raising Cane is no good? Just raise your hand. I don't see any hands raised. All right.
Visa again,
okay.
and APD,
That he's okay now, but I saw his results. You know, he took out ISIS. I was told it was going to take 4 years. It took 4 weeks. I went to see him, and he took him out in 4 weeks. Knocked him out, knocked him to hell. And I was told by military people it was going to take 4 to 5 years to do it. And I don't even know if we'll have it then, sir. These were the Washington generals. I call them the television generals. But Raising Cane did it in 4 weeks, took out 100% of the ISIS caliphate. As a result of these actions and many others since my inauguration, we're witnessing the
VRTX down
return of
1.5.
Peace through strength. We have great peace through strength.
Pfizer reduces prices
America's
across the
respected
board.
again
White
as a
House
country.
official,
We were not
70 billion
respected with
R&D
Biden.
manufacturing
They
will
looked at
launch
him falling
DTC
downstairs
sale of
every day.
drugs
Every day the guy's
through
falling
Trump
downstairs.
Pharma. Trump RX.
It's not our president.
Trump is coming
have
out with something called Trump RX.
I'm very careful. You know, when I walk downstairs for
That's what it is.
stairs,
So
these
Pfizer
stairs, I'm
and
very-
Trump
I walk
RX,
very
there's in a
slowly.
$70 billion
Nobody
plant
has to set a record.
or R&D.
Just
That's a
try
lot.
not to fall. because it doesn't work out well. A few of our presidents have fallen, and it became a part of their legacy. We don't want that. You walk nice and easy. You don't have to set any record. Be cool. Be cool when you walk down, but don't bop down the stairs.
IBM,
So
AMD.
one thing with Obama, I had zero respect for him as a president, but he would bop down those stairs. I've never seen
AMD on the high.
He'd go down the stairs, wouldn't hold
Yeah,
on
but
and
there's
sit
something.
there.
I mean, it's funny.
I don't want to do it. I guess
Mark
I could
Cuban's
do it.
new
But
competition is
eventually,
Donald Trump.
bad things.
But literally,
are
it says
gonna
Trump
happen. And it only
RX.
takes once.
I think they're going to make a website or something.
A year ago, we were a dead country. We were dead. This country was going to hell. We were dead in every way, from immigration
damage, I know,
to
but
military.
you didn't pay
We
me,
didn't have
and
the
all you did was brag.
weapons.
So,
we were given everything
unfortunately.
to.
At least pay
we're
me if
giving
you're going to
everything to
brag or say
Ukraine. We
nothing,
had
so that way
nothing.
we keep pushing, baby.
And by the way, I have to tell you,
But you chose
now,
the one that didn't
as
pay.
you know, I went over and I met with NATO, and NATO
Yeah, it
raised
was a
from
good
2 to
call out.
5,
You got
which
it within
everyone said
seconds before
5%
everybody.
of GDP. Millions and now trillions of dollars are pouring in.
Another LMT.
They didn't pay the 2% because they know we were there to pay it. And now they paid
And
the
the
5%.
Dabe on the
That's
low.
trillions of dollars. And we're not spending any money on that war, not 10 cents. We sell our equipment to
Katos.
NATO.
Oh, what's the other
NATO
one?
pays
Guilt?
us for the equipment, and they give it to Ukraine or whoever they give it to. They can keep it, but we're not involved. We have no money going out. Biden gave $350 billion.
Okay, spies starting to curl back up here. See if it's chips. Remember, first time was chips. Everything else came down, and then now chips are reloading
But
again.
we're not doing that anymore. So I just want you to know
reloaded.
we're selling equipment.
Okay.
Our people are buying equipment. They're buying. They are buying the equipment at full price, a fair price. So I don't want to say we're making money because I don't want to be making money on a war. It's too many people dying. They're losing 7,000 soldiers a week. A lot of them are Russian soldiers, but between the two countries, mostly soldiers, by the way.
Yeah, bro, it's all gold.
Sometimes,
Ever
you know,
since
in
jobs,
Kiev, they'll lob a
all of
missile
those
in
red
or
to green.
some
Silver's about
drones
to go
and kill
green, but
some
gold
people.
already did it. Gold's
But
the leader.
mostly it's soldiers.
Teledoc
Russia,
on the
Ukraine
low.
are losing 7,000
MO
souls.
on the high, so
And you know,
not
they're
too many
not,
staples are doing too hot, but that's starting to
not
wake up.
American,
Coca-Cola
they're
as
not
well.
us, they're not you. We have a special obligation.
And then it's chips,
But
and then
they're
you have that
soldiers, they're
drug.
young
We do
people,
have
they
drug
leave their
news
parents, they wave
with
goodbye,
Trump
and then 2
RX
days
and
later, they're
Pfizer.
blown up.
So that's the other
So
part. Oh,
unnecessarily.
is that AMD? Amazon.
And so that's the
Alexa
primary
will
reason I
roll
wanna
out new
get it
2K and
done.
4K devices in
And we got
December.
to get it done. It's crazy what's going on. That's the worst war that there's been
There was
since
war
World
headlines
War II.
yesterday,
The
and
number
then
of
there was
soldiers
something on
that are being killed there is just crazy.
awards yesterday.
From 5,000 to 7,000 soldiers die a week. Think of that.
Gold, SPY
So
still
I
chilling.
think
Bonds
we'll get
did come
that
back
done,
down
but
a
that's
little bit,
turned
though.
out to be the
They were
toughest one.
kind
I'm
of the
so disappointed
outperformer,
in
even though it's
President
light. It's only a
Putin
quarter.
that I
Dow's
thought
only
he would
index in
get
the
this
green
thing
right now.
over with. He should have had that war done in a week.
In a
And I
week.
said to him, you know, you don't look good. You're 4 years fighting a war that should have taken a week. Are you a paper tiger?
A paper tiger.
And it's a shame, but I think eventually
Damn, Spotify, what
we'll
the
get
fuck?
that one
Oh,
done.
the
just
guy
like
left.
In theory, I want to knock
chairman, I
on wood
forgot.
because you never know. It's like we're
MO
gonna have the
starting to
Middle
wake.
East done.
GLD
actually a much
especially,
harder
though.
thing to
Now,
do.
low ticker's picking up on
Thousands
the
of
1
years.
minute, 30 second. It's kind of
We have to
everything.
get that war done. So
Watch
now
out here,
we're-
or watch if chips end up going down.
just think of it, we're a
NTR,
dead
fertilizer
country. I was
place.
with the
Thank you for
King
your
of Saudi
attention
Arabia,
to
great
this.
guy. I was with the Emir of
Thank you, my
Qatar.
brother. Thank you.
I was with the great leadership of
I know the
UAE. I was
information
over
is
there.
valuable.
We brought back
And if y'all locked in, so
$2
I
trillion
hope he's doing good. Y'all don't ever have to pay the
and
plug.
more.
But those of you who do, man,
They ordered 200
God bless
planes,
you.
Boeings. They
God,
ordered
but
so
you see,
much,
some
and
people try to
they
do
were
it for
great.
free. You know what I'm saying?
all said
and they
essentially
try
the
to
same
turn
thing.
it,
They
bro.
said,
No.
1 year ago,
No.
you were a dead country, and now you're the hottest country anywhere in the world.
We're the
We're
hottest
the
in the
hottest
world
country
right
in the world
now.
right
Just
now.
touchdown in Long
The
Tom
absolute
Town.
hottest country in the world. There's nobody even close. Putin said that
HR.
to me. We met in Alaska, had a good meeting. Then he went back and started
Damn,
sending
that's a
drones
tragedy.
into Kiev. I said,
World
"We had
in
a good
war, but the
meeting."
truth is the
But
casualty.
it's one of those things. But we were a dead country a year ago, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. Think of that. You could be proud of that. And you must have felt like hell when you have a wife or a husband at home.
Ethereum
and you
on the
used
low.
to read the numbers that we can't get people to join the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard.
I don't, dude. This speech is
you
fucking
must have
long.
felt
This
like,
has been going on since the
I
bell.
have a job that
So
nobody
literally
wants,
from
such as
market
job.
open till
Now
right
you have a
now, he has
job
just been going straight.
that is brimming over with people wanting it. They want it. And you're able to get a much higher quality because now you have your choice. You know, you want so many.
How come no one said anything about
And
Wolf
we're
yet?
gonna have
What
many,
happened?
many people
It hit
that
the
aren't going to be
31
able
and
to
then
join
we.
because of the fact that
Oh,
we
I
don't-
banned all of y'all
we
already?
don't need
Okay.
them at this
Never
moment.
mind. Never. It makes sense. Never
But think
mind.
of it,
My bad.
what a difference that is from. I could just imagine 2 years ago.
Qualcomm.
You're reading front
That's a
page
little weird.
articles in
It hasn't moved
the
much,
New York
but
Times, of
yeah,
course,
hold on.
and
If that
Wall
goes
Street
3%,
Journal. They always give
it's
us
only about one
unfair
from
stories.
that little move right
But
here.
they played it so big. They were
Album
playing it
all on
so
the
big.
low.
Nobody wants to join the Army, the Marines, the Air Force. They want.
Oh
they
yeah,
don't
it's still
want to
fucking
join.
early. That's why.
They don't want to join the
You're
Coast
right.
Guard at all.
You're actually really right. It's
Nobody
fucking
wants to
7
join-
o'clock.
Nobody wants to join our police
I'm
forces.
just
Our police
excited.
forces also. Someone's,
Philip Morris,
hand in
second
hand.
cigarette play, moving up.
and I used to say, boy,
Again,
I'm
MO
speaking in
started
front of the
going up.
military
Silver
today,
about to
and
go green after
it's
deep
embarrassing
red.
because I'm speaking in front of people who have a job that other people don't want, but now you have a job that everybody wants. So I think that has to make you feel good. It's one of the reasons I love being here today, because I wanted to say that. I have to say that everybody wants to be in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines. If you think the Coast Guard,
Yeah, but
and Space
Pfizer's,
Force,
those actually hit.
our beautiful
That's what I'm
Space
saying.
Force.
So appreciate
It's
the
a whole
paying the
different
plug.
world.
Those are
And now
really
they're
cheap.
signing
And
up, by the
then,
way,
yeah,
seriously
4%
big
move
numbers
on
for the
a
police.
slow mover is pretty
Dangerous
legit.
job, isn't
All
it?
the premiums went
Fire
up.
department.
So yeah, hopefully
But
it
that's
continues.
the
You can watch the
paving
other
the
ones
way
too.
for progress
You
once
got Merck
thought
and a few
almost
others,
impossible.
and then I'm
I
sure
mean,
we're
a
going to
year
hear
ago,
more
you
about
wouldn't
it.
have thought that was possible. A year ago, they were talking about making the military smaller because they can't get the people to join. We're thinking about making it larger.
My brother, why are you posting strike
because we have
prices?
so many people.
That's
and
a
it's
trap.
nice to be able to cut people
Don't be
because
the
of
trap,
merit
brother.
that aren't really
Don't be the trap.
qualified for any reason, a physical reason, a mental reason. You don't have to take them anymore because you have the pick of the litter, and they all want to be with you. They all want your job. They want to be with you. They want to work with you. They'll even take your job, you know. Got to be a little bit sharp. You got to watch it. But
JD on the low
everybody
now.
wants to be
And
doing
City.
what you're doing now. What a difference
Ugh.
when I speak to you. And
Hey, yo, City
I can
looks
say
pretty
that as
terrible.
opposed to a couple of years
I don't know
ago
if
when
all
I
the
was
banks are
talking to
like that.
rooms
Yeah, they all started to
where
flip.
they were desperate to
You
get
got another
people
one
and
on
they
the
couldn't
low
get 'em.
too. Who was that?
What a difference a
Like,
presidential
JD.
election can make. That's all it is.
Yeah, China's starting to
It's just
flip
a
there.
presidential election.
And then
Yesterday at the
Pfizer's
White House, we
going.
put forward a plan for peace in Gaza. We announced it, and we're going to create something that was my idea, but unfortunately
Weed
I got
on the
drafted.
low.
It's going to be called the
62
Board of
months
Peace,
expecting a
and
blessing.
it's going to reign over that territory, and
Amen, baby.
we're going to
That
get
means
that
it's
done.
alive.
And they asked if I'd be the
You know
chairman
that-
of the
that
Board of Peace. I
expectant
wasn't
spirit,
counting
bro?
on that. I had the idea for the
Oh,
Board
I
of
hope it
Peace.
stays alive.
But I'd say yes,
Amen.
and I guess because of that,
Amen.
every leader,
Medtronic, another value
everybody
healthcare
wants to
play.
be on the Board of Peace. And we're going to watch over that very volatile part of the world and keep it non-volatile so you don't have to get involved. We want to save you for other things or save you for nothing from that standpoint. We don't want you fighting wars, but if you have to, you're the most lethal fighting force in the world. And I would say that even 2-3 years ago, but now I say it with great enthusiasm. It's so true. And we're striving tirelessly to end the terrible war in Ukraine. And as you know, we're also working hard to get the allies to share more of the burden of our defense. Much of that is
Morgan
really
Stanley now, another
already
bank.
taken place.
More
But
healthcare
all
on the
NATO
high.
members are
SPY
committed
just
to
more at the
the
VWAP middle.
increase that I talked about. Think of that. That was
Not moving.
unthinkable.
If
It used to
NVIDIA
be
goes, that's
1%,
going to give
then
you
we
another
got
one of
it
those
up to
waves.
2 in my
These
last
two
term.
waves are all NVIDIA running.
And they
NVIDIA
did not
plus like
like
10
it.
other chip names.
And now I got it to 5. And
A
I get
lot of
along great with
financials
all
on
of
the
them.
low. I don't see a
In fact, they call
headline,
me the
but
president of
financials are
NATO. I
starting
said,
to
I
get
don't think
clapped.
so. But they're great. They're great people, and they're spending a lot of money, and a lot of money that they should have been spending in the past. But I think Putin was a wake-up call for them, really. We're now selling large quantities of American-made weapons to NATO, and we're getting really fair pricing. We're making a lot of money. It's my hope that from Europe to Asia to the Middle East, our allies will make similar
Fubu
commitments
approves
to
business
increase their
combination with
military
Hulu,
capabilities.
NVIDIA,
And this will greatly strengthen our
chips, and then a
alliances.
Fubo
and
Disney
also
headline.
it'll make
I don't know if it's
war
gonna- it's
far
kinda moving.
less likely. You know, if you're a strong presence like we are such a strong presence now. And I go around bragging about that. I said, we have the strongest military anywhere in the world. I say it. You never heard Biden say that. You never heard him say anything. But you never heard him say, did you ever hear him say, we have the strongest military? He doesn't say that. I say it. We have the strongest military anywhere in the world. We have great leadership. And I'll tell you, Pete.
Yeah, bro, NVIDIA all-time high. Those are very big candles, actually. $2 into the high right now.
Lifted up in rank. And we got
like I'm telling you,
it's
just all NVIDIA today, or these like little chip bursts. That's going to give you your upside.
Because we weren't satisfied. We know everything about everybody.
Walmart, Intel.
It will also help the United States rapidly rebuild
NVIDIA,
our defense
NVIDIA,
industrial
AMD.
base. Each of you can play an important part in getting allies to do their part. So to that end, Secretary Hegseth will soon be announcing major reforms to streamline military acquisitions.
There's CoreWeave.
Expedite
Let's see the
foreign
premiums.
military sales. We have tremendous numbers of countries that want to buy our equipment, and in many cases it takes too long. They have backlogged. We're backlogged on all the equipment, which is something that's new to us a little bit. And I told those companies, you better get your ass going, because we're selling you a lot of equipment. We're getting countries to buy your equipment. You got to produce the equipment. Some of the countries, I'm not going to mention, but some of the countries are buying a lot. And that's a good thing. They're on our side.
Yeah, bro, Merck hit.
95%.
If you got
I'll
those,
never say 100%,
those are up over 100 now. You can make them free.
You know about that. But they're on our side. The problem is we have to get the companies that make this equipment. And we make the best equipment in the world, but they got to make it faster. We have orders for the F-35. We have orders for everything. The new F-47. We have orders for everything. They got to make it faster, a lot faster. Ammunition they have to make faster. In the coming months, we'll be making even more historic announcements to fully embrace the identity of the Department of War. I love the name. I think it's so great.
He said they're going to streamline the
wars.
military acquisitions with Hegseth.
The Department of War is going to stop wars.
Does that mean you're going to buy a bunch of fucking
If we
drones?
are as ruthless and relentless as our enemies, the United States Armed Forces will be
KKR on the low and
totally
PayPal.
unmatched in the future. We have a
Yeah,
group of enemies
PayPal is
that are
part of that
very
little financial
ruthless
sell-off. Meanwhile, NVIDIA.
and very smart. But
And
they
then
can't
all of
match
the
us. They
MRK,
can't match us. They
Pfizer,
don't
all of
even
that
come
Trump
close
shit
to
that's coming
matching
out.
us.
Those hit.
Again, it's very important for me to say we have the greatest
GPCR is a
military
breast
in the world,
cancer
but we
drug.
make the best equipment in the world.
TSAT.
I watched our
Okay. So
anti-missile
everything else moving. Look at the low
missiles. I
ticker.
watched
NVIDIA's holding up.
Patriots
Everybody else is coming
just knock
down.
things out
They're
like
starting to weigh a little bit more.
hitting another needle on the stage. There's a needle up there, and you send another needle up, and it hits it every time. During the war, we went 14 for 14. We had 14. This is with Iran. We had 14 missiles coming at us. All 14 were knocked out of the sky, every one of them. We make the best equipment. From Sparta to Rome, to the British Empire, to the United States of America, history has shown that military supremacy has
just
never
don't stop talking.
been simply a
I'm gonna
matter
go
of
get
money
me
or
a
manpower.
Carbo. And then
At
go
the
to
end of the
bathroom.
day, it is
It
the
is
culture,
1 hour though.
spirit of our
So,
military
God bless
that
America,
truly
baby.
sets us apart
Again, we
from
got
any
some
other
good plays
nation.
there.
Our
Nothing on
ultimate
the tech
strength
side. It
will
was all
always come
healthcare today,
from the
but those
fierce
have worked
people,
now.
the
So I said, make it
brilliant
free.
people
You can
with
make them
such
free at
pride,
100%,
the
no risk,
unbending
or you
will
push
and
till we
the
get more
traditions of
headlines.
excellence
But
that
we
have
do
made
have
us
some healthcare
the
news
most
brewing, it looks
unstoppable
like.
force ever to walk
All right, I'll
the
be right back.
face of the earth, and that's what we are. Remember, we never want to use it, but we have the most powerful nuclear capability, and I call it nuclear deterrent of any other country. Nobody close. The men and women in this room inherit the legacy built and won by Washington and Jackson, Grant and Pershing, Eisenhower and Patton, Nimitz and LeMay. We carry forward the majestic military heritage passed down from father to son, soldier to soldier, and one generation of warriors to the next. You are warriors, you know that, right? You're great warriors, or you wouldn't be in this room. You're the best of the best. From Concord Bridge to Fort McHenry, from Gettysburg to Manila Bay, from Normandy to Sicily, and from the jungles of Vietnam to the dusty streets of Baghdad, America's military has charged into hellfire, climbed up jagged mountains, crossed roaring oceans, and thundered across open deserts to defend our flag, our freedom, and our homeland. Nobody does it like you. Now we are discovering American muscle, reasserting American might, and beginning the next story chapter in American military legends and lore. That's L-O-R-E. It is lore. When it comes to defending our way of life, nothing will slow us. No enemy will stop us. They cannot stop us. And no adversary will stand in our way. They won't stand in our way. We don't want them to stand in our way. We don't want to even put them in that position, but they're not going to stand in our way ever again. You'll never see 4 years like we had with Biden and that group of incompetent people that ran this country that should have never been there. Because we had the United States military, the best, the boldest, the bravest that the world has ever seen, that the world has ever known. With leaders like we have right here in this beautiful room today, we will vanquish every danger and crush every threat to our freedom in every generation to come, because we will fight, 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 and we will win, win, win. I want to just thank you once again, and God bless the United States military, and God bless America. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Oh, I paused it. That took a while. So gold and silver are back to green. Oil did move around. I mean, we got a different unrelated headline. He didn't say it, but it was from the White House on the healthcare and the drug pricing. But other than that, I mean, here we are now towards the low. There was a lot there. There was a lot. It's most of what you already heard. But that did go longer than I thought. But now I do think he's on the schedule again for later today. Believe it or not. So we'll see. Otherwise, it's really been chips. I mean, it's kind of one of those smaller days on the scoreboard, and I don't think we moved as much as yesterday. You didn't have that much of a gap down, but it's pretty obvious chips are doing something, and then we also have healthcare, and then financials are not doing good. But other than that, no crazy headlines. Again, look at financials. They're down 1%, so I'm assuming something happened, or maybe it could be anticipation. And speaking of which, here, I need to look at the calendar. He's on the schedule for 2 more. Oh no, that's going to be a long time. I need to look at the calendar. Yeah, that might work. Oh, they know my plan. Dude, Spotify is disgusting. I mean, it helped us out on the upside in the long term, but then the days it goes down, you're like, what the fuck? But yeah, homeboy left. The CEO went to become the chairman of the board, and then there was something, I want to say, with like a downgrade or something, some analyst action. And then SPY just hit a new low of the day. Remember yesterday, I mean, you had some pretty decent cushion with that gap down, so it didn't look that crazy. But now, like, what, you're 1 or 2 points below yesterday's low, and then meanwhile equal weight just knifed. So that's everybody getting destroyed, I would say. And then tech and Nvidia is kind of holding you up. It would look a lot uglier without it. Yeah, Guild, Big Red, ZYBT. Some of these little smaller ones are going to start moving up. Yeah, that's up 20%. And then BNI. So you're going to get these smaller ones moving. I don't know. Still get the bid. CoreWeave, NVIDIA, holding. Yeah, I think it's just the equal weight. ZYBT, whatever that is. 69%. Oh, Chinese biotech. Yeah, remember Etsy? I mean, that was a weird move yesterday with the reaction. And then, so it was funny because I regretted that one for a little bit, but I guess not. And then Pfizer just gave it all up. So, I mean, hopefully you took the make it free warning. Them and MR, everything. Right when Trump finished, they all just dumped. So, hi. But other than that, man, you got about 6 hours left. No news on Dell. They went back and forth. Remember the amount of devices, amount of chips determining the tariffs? That was kind of their headline from Friday, but I don't think anything new. So yeah, and then I have one crazy idea. SMBY. Vert. VRT. That one's holding. SPY getting a candle at the bottom. Can we do this? KOD Microsoft. All right, man. It's still big tech. Microsoft kind of launching out of nowhere. So again, they're about to go red to green, but that's big tech. You just watch the equal weight knife and you've seen NVIDIA hitting a 52-week high. So like I'm saying, I think we'd be down a lot more without the big tech. But for now, some pockets are holding up. It's a little bit less now, but yeah, it's not as dramatic. 15 on the Dow still. NASDAQ 40 in the green, 60 in the red. So about 10 more names flipped. And then the big ones are still holding up. And then SPY 212 in the green. So about 50 more names went red. And then Microsoft moving right now into the high, literally going green. Russell's the worst on the day. NASDAQ only down a 0.19. Yep, Microsoft and Yang, those Chinese moves are weird. Again, you had, I think BABA might be red now. 2 of them went red. And then China overall, again, they have a holiday. They've been good. Yeah, BABA's about to go red right now. MTN, they were struggling this morning, kind of going up. There's CoreWeave now. Whoa, bigger candles there. So I had one on Watch. I told you the other ones. Oh, wow. So the premiums are actually not moving up yet. You could get a lagger frog if that actually keeps going. I'm looking at next week. There's a window. But it needs to continue. CoreWeave. Equal weight. They actually haven't. Usually those options would move by now. They didn't. Yeah, equal weight is lower than yes. It's just knifed, man. Equal weight went from 76.73 to 76.40 in like about 10-15 minutes. So kind of straight down. EWTX, CM, SIG. Oh, where's Disney and Netflix? How is that? They're both down. I don't know, Docu. There was something. Apple's getting a candle right now. I'll check Docu. I saw they were down like 7 at one point, I think, or something. EYPT, another biotech. Equal weight SPX EW or RSP. What is it? Term Scout, Launch Global Standard. I don't see anything on Docu. Yeah, but look at Apple. Early candles. Doesn't look like news, but if those get bigger, it could be. BABA. And then VRT. That one keeps moving. And then Microsoft. So now you have Microsoft and Apple moving. NVIDIA is still near the high. I mean, half of the Mag 7, bro, is working in your favor. Amazon and Meta and Netflix are down, and Google. But the rest are doing good. ZYBT, that's a Chinese bio there. That one's still moving up. TSM now on the high. That's another. Yeah, CoreWeave, the options didn't move. That candle there, so that's actually very unique. Like I said, I was waiting for some to get a lot cheaper. You had the move. If you did get, if you captured any of them cheap enough here, those are still up, but Yeah, it's actually frozen. Microsoftian back to VWAP. Look at that. And bonds coming up. Oracle, yeah. I mean, after that crazy Oracle a couple weeks ago in the earnings, it's kind of been chilling. I can't do the thing. I think we sold out at what, 360, 370 or something? That was insane. Oh, shit. Microsoft again. So just doing what Nvidia did 30 minutes ago. So now you got the bid on Microsoft and oh wait, there's one more play. Please hold while we connect your long term. Right back to VWAP, brother. MSM. Rick on the high. Hi. The REITs haven't gotten any love yet. And it's kind of crazy. You guys know that the rate cut sensitive industries after the rate cut now, after 1 week, it's one of their worst performances. So you guys realize that we're doing it again. That's why today in the bonds is a little bit better. At least bonds are now back to the Powell level, but we got to see where they go. But once again, following a rate cut, you're breaking a lot of historical trends, i.e. rates are going up after the rate cut, and then everything that would have benefited for one of the first times here, they did not. APM, what's this? Up 22% after being halted. And then you have AMD moving up there with the chip. SPY's coming up. A couple of uranium plays. And then tech. The tech XLK. That is on the high. And Palantir and Navid. And then Open Door. And then, yeah, you're literally right back up to the high. So, again, Trump stops talking. We do this little sell-off there. You had equal weight just fucking get murdered. And then I think all of the money went to Microsoft and gold. And NVIDIA. And here we are. Silver hasn't gone green yet, but it's about to. What is this? APM. It's foreign. Foreign terminals. Microsoft. And all right, we'll just see if we can actually break out. But other than that, I mean, we've spent the first. Look at this oscillation, man, to go nowhere. So these are a lot of opportunities to get chopped up. I'm sure you could see. Oh, UiPath, that one is going down. The options haven't gone down, though. Literally from the morning. A lot of these, just like we talked about with, like, weed, some of these you have to wake up into them. I don't think the plays are going to be over, but I don't think you could get in until the premiums come down. I don't know, CRM was underperforming today. Yeah, they were one of the first tech ones. They're down 3.6. Katos. Remember, there's a couple of drone plays in the morning as well. What is this? Salesforce. Pending management change? No, that's all I see. But no, I don't see anything on Salesforce. Oh, didn't someone say too we have an Amazon event later? So that could be good because Amazon and Meta are the ones that are down, and Netflix. City banks are getting murdered. Okay, MTN, they got murdered in the morning and just been getting a bid from the AM. Etsy, they're switching from NASDAQ or NYSE to NASDAQ or something. And then I think there was a downgrade, but that right there. Microsoft on the high, Palant, Cisco. All right, see, Palantir's really running though. I mean, it has 200 highs, but yeah, my chart's broken. It might do one of those, just melt away. And then SERM. NVIDIA, 52-week all-time high. Welcome to America. Fulcrum, EU von der Leyen presented Russian asset revenue plan to Lagarde. I don't see the Amazon thing on my calendar, so, but someone said there is one later. AVAV. Yeah, Microsoft, man. So again, just how you guys watched NVIDIA take off earlier and that started setting things off, it feels the same way here. Is Microsoft near all-time highs? No. They're still actually holding from that earnings. Amazon touts next-gen Kindle. So they are, I don't know, I think they're speaking somewhere because I've gotten 3 Amazon headlines. I don't see an event, but I see the headlines. Oh. Sora. Who was the other one? CoreWeave. Iren. NASDAQ's at break even. Hold on. I didn't even realize that. So all of this movement now in Microsoft, I mean, NASI is back to break even. Citi, bro. Banks are getting pretty terrible. That's 2.8 now on Citi. Again, it was at 1% last time we looked at it. And then again, like I'm telling you, XLF is at 1% as a whole. Amazon devices event is live. That's what it is. So it's weird. It doesn't list as like a material like event. Next gen Kindle. Wells Fargo now. Bro, something's financial. So healthcare to the upside, financials to the downside, tech to the upside, and gold to the upside. Or bullion. Very fascinating, my brethren. Yep, gold on the high. Citi, now TTD flushing, but I see a lot of financials on the low. That's what's printing. And now Lyft too. TTD's down 1. Yeah, I mean, crypto's down, but just holding up. I think there's a different connection. I want to get lost in the sauce. Crypto is its own little world now. But I think the financials, it could be regulation, could be rates, it could be European stuff. I mean, who knows? Minority Leader Schumer, we are heading into a shutdown. That's also the other part of it too. Government shutdown, but that could be brewing some things. Capital One down 6. Yeah, it's disgusting. Good call on that, because Citi was pretty bad at 3%. That's not normal. So another financial down 6. That's pretty big. Yeah, and Microsoft, they're holding the line with you. Apple's chill. Low ticker is still picking up. You're right above VWAP. I mean, most of the upside are the random names with already momentum and now like inverse ETFs. CoreWeave, QQQ. So NASDAQ going green. I think it's Microsoft and NVIDIA, brother. You get an Apple, Amazon. There you go. Literally, NASDAQ is going green right now. So in the midst of all of this, and however it feels, we haven't moved much. You have equal weight still pretty knocked, but yeah. The what's it called? The NASDAQ is doing good. So we'll see if we can get above 6661. That's your little gap fill, and then he'll just be back in the yesterday zone. Got a live blog with Amazon. All right. Okay, and then remind me at the end of the day. I will give you a play. MTI Jedi on the high. Jedi. Again, they're still down, but they are climbing. DraftKings down 9. Jeez. Yeah, Flutter down 7. That's what's been crazy. I think it was like last week or Monday or Friday. I just remember on the days that it like will feel chill though, and then you'll look and like some names will legitimately drop like 7-8%, and then they'll be right back up. But those are big moves, man. So that's why it's like, welcome to the bubble, and it will drop substantially only to be right back up. So yeah, fascinating deal. Who else was there? German economy minister, slowdown in Q3 is down to U.S. tariff problem, especially steel and aluminum. Amazon, new Echo. Let's see. $187 on the mother in the video. No? Okay. But yeah, it is at 187. Baba on the low. K-Web, all of them are flushing. Lyft, JD on the low. Baidu on the low. Mainly China now. China, Disney, and then financials. And then Trump is about to begin again? Aye. CYN on the high. Whatever this is. Synogen? That actually sounds very familiar. LP. More JD lows, more Baba lows. They're getting absolutely murdered right now. Muted. Microsoft. Yeah, bro. That's again, Apple, Amazon, we do really, really good. Otherwise, these guys stop by middle of the day, you're going to be right back to where you came from. Because NVIDIA is starting to come down a little bit, but I think Microsoft's some good juice. ClearPoint Neuro. DPRO. That was the drone one from the morning, huh? Yeah, actually. And Gil. But yeah, DPRO is waking up. I didn't check it, that one. It does have options. Oh, yeah, they were up a lot. 3,000 or 300%. Let's see. When did I first hear about Trump RX? Today? I heard about it right when I told you. So the headline came in. We had the rumor about something with Pfizer and drug pricing, and then about 20 minutes later, we had the full confirmation with all the details. But then I still don't think we know what it is. So I don't know what Trump RX is. I just heard the name, this idea, And then yeah, I'm just as informed as you are. Baba JD on the low, but America is ripping. So Bacht. But yeah, so again, I think a couple of tech names. It's sad because I don't even think we could say America's ripping. It's a small portion of names. Equal Weight already got murked just holding this low, and then the other ones. INSM. Didn't we get something on them the other day? I don't know if they're in the buyout or not, but yeah, they're moving up. Now you got IBM as well. And then SPY. I mean, it's the closest you've been to breaking out today. IREN as well. And then, EYPT hit a 52-week high. Remember, this one, they've gone through a lot. Yeah, they actually held up after that dip. SAP on the high. Again, you just heard from Germany, too. Like I said, if you could get Meta, you could get Apple, this could help out a lot. If Meta, Apple come down, or Microsoft, Nvidia come down, then this will change a lot. But look at Microsoft. So that little low and rip was Microsoft. These 2 or 3 were Nvidia. But like I'm saying, you pull it out. I mean, it would be nice to break out. Otherwise, we've done a lot of oscillating today. But it does set us up. The jobs data wasn't that important. I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It wasn't an outlier. And I think it just keeps you in the same setup as we get ready for more data this week. And now even wrapping up the month and quarter. So 8:02, 28 minutes till Euro close. And that was your first high. Or right into the tippy top of the candle. Amazon Ring with retinal vision cameras. Wow. XYL. UAV's on the low. Whoa. Yo, UAV just got murdered. It's a $2 stock, so I mean, you're gonna play it a little different. That just had a pop and lock for some reason. Again, check any of the other ones like D-Pro and Gilt and all that, or Katos. Yeah, none of them moved. I don't know if they halted it. Oh, you guys still have the wire. Yeah, Trump is on the calendar. I do have him up here, but I feel like he's going to come in late. Is BQ Buki back up? Damn, bro. Buki. They're doing Buki again. Look at all the China names are dying. Man, y'all need to get on Baozun then, Buki. If y'all ready to run Buki, it doesn't make sense that Baozun's not running. Because Buki and Baozun go hand in hand, motherfucker. They playing Buki. They're Buki. But yeah, Buki and Baozun. I don't know. This sounds like a Mario game. Buki and Baozun. Walmart. Did healthcare come down? Some of them. Again, that was a great alert on the make it free on Pfizer and Merck. Because they're still up, but it was like 100 and something, and then they just stopped. But SPY is working its way back up here. Where's GLD? Gold. It's still holding here. So like I'm saying, we wicked into the high a little bit, but I feel like the market just wants to stay here. This would be so terrible, you guys. Just imagine if we go and we knife down again, and then we come back up again. Oh, man. They hate you. So, other than that, if we could break out and move, awesome. If we get stuck here, you might play this one more time. Oklo targets mid-year launch. Yeah, and then the BLS, they're saying that it's not going to They're saying government shutdown, no jobs report. Remember I told you this morning there was I thought they were gonna do it no matter what, but then this morning they were throwing a little bit of shade on it, and I think they're confirming it right now. Baba still on the low. Yeah, end of the month too. That is exactly. That's why it's like it's a good excuse to do whatever you want. We have end of the month, habibi. End of the month. MGN, that was another hype ripper the other day. KC, isn't that gold? No, Kingsoft Cloud. SLV barely. I don't even think silver went green. Albemarle on the low. Down 7, dude. I'm telling you, the amount of just like we wake up do you guys realize that's not like that normal? The amount of times we just wake up and see like a 7-10% name down, and then the next day or so it just does whatever it wants. That's crazy. All right, Chad. I hope you're blessed. It's 8 o'clock, man. Early. Too early. Too early. We did good, though. Not bad. We have more in store. For the rest, I don't know what Trump's going to say. I feel like we've already heard him a lot. But, yeah, man, I think we got to ride this into Thursday. Take it in from Thursday. And then before you know it, man, new month and end of the year. Dio, wasn't that down? No, they were a little bit. I'm gonna say if we start to get those turning around, that'd be nice. But staples are just right there. They're not dying, but they're not running. And then again, XLV still has a lot of juice after that. I think that was healthcare the best today besides chips, and then the worst is financial. Oklo? I don't know, man. Oklo's... I don't know. You guys want tinfoil? I'll give you tinfoil. I think the world, they made the mistake, and I think we Sam Altman the Sam Bankman. Or we Sam Bankman, Sam Altman. Because I feel like it has to work, you guys. Do you understand? Remember I told you this? And I was like, this is a really big bet. Because you realize it has to work. Oklo doesn't have anything. They literally have no money, no nothing, and they haven't even built anything. It's really starting to remind me of Nikolai. Now, granted, it's nuclear and it's tied to AI, but it's just at this point, even OpenAI, bro, they made $4 billion this year, spending $2 billion, no profit. How the fuck are they going to give anybody $100 billion in a contract? So assume all of that stuff, and I'm sure they'll find a way. But all I'm saying is, like, they have to win, because if they don't, there's too much money and commitments tied to this thing, and if they go bust, it's fucked. So yeah, that's tinfoil number one, is that you kind of have to make Sam Altman succeed, because I think it would be too big of a drag on the economy if he didn't. At this point, because you guys have bet way too hard on it. And then here's the other tinfoil. I think that there is a risk that we overheat. And really at this point, man, when I see what they're doing with PDT, with commodity, everything, every single asset, I don't think this is going to happen, but I could see it happening. Long story short, I feel like if you thought there was going to be a big asset decline coming up in the future, you might as well pump that shit as high as it could go. Because if you could get it higher, 50% of a higher number is less than 50% from now. Does that make sense? So that's why I honestly, I think Donald Trump, that might be going through his head. Or if they know something, I feel like the idea is just pump it to the moon, so that way, if it's going to drop 50% anyways, at least we could secure this as the floor. But then if you don't fucking pump it from here, this is our, we're jumping from the building now. You get what I'm saying? But what if we could double the size of the building in 6 months? Even if it fucking crumbles, we land here again. Ta-da! So yeah, that's my other tinfoil. Either way, I'm diversified. I got a long term. I've been extremely accurate this year, and the Lord is with me above all, so I ain't really tripping, you know? And you shouldn't either. We got you, baby. We got you. Oh, that's funny. I never saw this. You know the video with saying about lying about real estate? It's funny, I have Gavin Newsom in the title, in the picture. I didn't notice that. It's amazing. Yeah, bro. Look, it says, please stop lying. And then it has the old pictures. And then Newsom. I forgot about that. You trip, Josh? I do trip. That's okay, but I mean, you know it cost you, right? And like, you could keep tripping, you could be emotional, but like, at the end of the day, this is your future. It's gonna be on you. So if you want to get scared and be worried about things and make poor decisions, you can. I don't think you should, but you will be the one that bears the consequence. Other than that, I mean, I would embrace it. I would rejoice, and I would lock in and take that. You'll react to things as they're here, but if you have a plan, you're diversified and prepared, you will feel how I feel. Truly, you will be prepared. That's why I'm saying. I mean, I'm not really worried about anything. You know why? Because I'm prepared. That's it. It's not even ego. I know to some of you who are unprepared, it may sound very cocky, but it's not. I'm just telling you, like, you know, I look at all the water in my house. I have my go bag. I have everything. You know, I'm prepared. So the diversification, whether there's a big run, a big crash, whether we do nothing, look at our portfolio. You guys have a piece of it. You know how it performs. You know how it stays up. We have that diversification. A little bit of here, a little bit of there, and you know, having a balance. We're never giving them the opportunity to rob us. The only way we're gonna get robbed is if we put out all of our money in one place, and that's it. And as long as you don't do that, we're very hard to kill. Why? Because diversification, and you don't have to worry about any dramatics, any media, any politics, because if you think ahead and plan ahead wisely, you will be ready to go. Ford, Jim Farley sees EV market share falling in half. Whoa, EV sales may fall to 5% of market from 10%. BHF on the low. And then bonds are getting murked right now. How prepared if the power grid goes down? I legitimately have a farm with my own mountain and access to food, water, off-grid, everything. That's it. I just need to get cows. I have chads. I have ways to communicate without the internet. That's why give me your phone number. I got you, baby. You know that, right? So make sure you guys have that. So yeah, and above all else, bro, I have the Lord with me. So that's always a good thing. The mind, the brain with some God, bro. We good. So point is, I wouldn't worry about shit. I would plan and prepare. When you do that, you're gonna be golden, no matter what this world throws your way. And that's exciting. Oh, dude. Boeing. All right, I'm telling the stream alerts to play in the end of the day one because I already made it, but I want to tell you guys at the end of the day. You guys have been good when I tell you at the end of the day, so we'll keep that up. But there's a nice little opportunity coming into Friday. Baba getting murked. BA developing replacement. That was in the morning. They're dropping though. Embarked to the high. Oh shit! I have someone at my door. I forgot. Yeah, I let the dude. My girl did. I have to fix my garage, dude, from fucking driving through it. Hold on. Let me get this up. I'll BRB. Here, let me stop lying about real estate. Oh shit, I'm taking too long to do it. Hold on, I'll be there. Please hold.
Points on the list, live in the hills, but still get a spread. Started with a live, but I still reinvest it. Feel how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but the sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Today, we need to talk about why everybody is lying about real estate. Everywhere I look, I keep hearing real estate bubble. Yes, you are seeing the prices go up. You're hearing about all these bidding wars, but there's a lot of doom and gloom around it. You've just seen Bitcoin go down. You've seen what's happened with tech stocks, but a lot of people are saying, hey, real estate, this is a bubble. It's unsustainable. Wait till the forbearances come. They're talking about commercial real estate dropping, all of this stuff, but I would rather let history be a teacher. And if you guys watched last weekend's video about inflation and what happened since the 70s, you will notice a very specific trend here with real estate. And why I'm bringing this up, because we are going through the same thing here today, and I don't want people to miss out on these opportunities. Now, I'm not saying go and overbid on everything. Obviously, you have to do your research, and even with the conclusion of this video I'm gonna give you, the biggest thing to understand here is that you really notice the effects in about 5 to 10 year periods. So real estate is a long-term investment. Yes, there is an opportunity to flip. I will probably even make another video here because I'm gonna go look at some flip properties today, and I want to see if I could show you it, but I wanted to get this out here first. But as long as you put yourself in a position to hold property for 5 to 10 years, you will be very, very good. Even around, I think, 2007 or 2000, they said it, real estate is a escalator to wealth. I mean, this is a good thing to be getting here, especially when you see what's going on. So I want to make sure you guys know what's going on, but I really want you to see what happened in the real estate market before and the similarities we're seeing here today. The number one thing I want to get right off the bat here is pricing in. This is the phenomena that you hear about a lot. When you see the price of something go up and then you kind of find the reason, you're like, oh yeah, okay, this is going to be a good investment because of this reason. Where this really happens in the stock market is Christmas. This is like the Santa Claus rally. So pretty much everybody, when they first get into stocks, they're like, oh yeah, well, companies are going to sell a lot on Christmas because people buy gifts. That's the logic. That's the idea. And then people use that to buy this stock. Now, what the unsophisticated investor is usually not aware of is that they're not the only person who believes that. And really what tends to happen in the stock market, the people getting ready for Christmas and New Year's, they started buying the stock in September and October, pricing that in. So if you want to buy it a week before Christmas, 2 weeks before Christmas, chances are it's priced in. Now, that is what's happening with real estate. What I'm trying to say with this is that I am not the only person who's known this and has known this. If you see what's going on, a lot of people are buying real estate for a reason. So when you see these bidding wars and you see people willing to pay this much for houses, you really have to ask yourself why. The point is, most people are seeing what's going on and they're willing to pay this because they're pricing something in. Now, in that same logic, this is also what you got to be careful of when it comes to buying real estate or looking at it, because you don't want that future gains priced in too high. However, like I said, if you're planning to hold this house for even beyond 1 or 2 years, you will see why that's not really the case. And this is why I'm trying to say here, it seems like a lot of people are talking down on real estate and all of this, but a lot of the underlying factors are all pointing to real estate being very, very good in the next 10, 15 years without any stopping in between. So do not be fooled when you are seeing a massive amount of activity and you're seeing people paying a certain price for these properties. They're doing it for a reason. And now on top of all of this, you have a unique situation with real estate at this time that we did not see at the other time in history, and this has to do with a supply crisis. There is not enough homes available. So yes, I am looking at this for the 5 and 10 year with real estate. I do think that people are pricing in stuff right now, and it's not all the way priced in. Some may be priced in. However, I think everybody Oh yeah, there it is. I'm back. I said, bro, baby Josh. Isn't that nice? He was telling you to buy a house like half off and y'all fucking hated him. That's great, bro. I fucking love him. Yo, future Josh is so hype. I'm future Josh now, and there's another future Josh ahead, but oh, thank you, baby Josh. You know that? Fuck yeah, bro. Baby Josh had my back. So I like baby Josh. Thank you. And baby Jesus too. But yeah, other than that, I mean, is that nobody has anything to tell me? No, there's nobody notices something. No geniuses. There's nothing. Nobody wants to say anything. It's weird. I'm doing great, man. I'm getting my garage fixed. I drove through it the other day on the weekend. I was backing out, and then I hit the garage opener, and then I just ran through the garage. I fucked shit up. But yeah, it's a good day. Still glorious. Excited to be here. Apple coming down. It's bullshit though. I forgot it's my garage, because like the quote was like 170, but then like I got cars outside today, and then I got cars inside my garage, and then that price just doubled. So, but I don't care, because I need to get this fixed, because then motherfuckers are gonna keep charging me more for my vehicles, because if they see them. So I need that fixed. You guys have nothing to tell me? Are you sure? There's not one stock you guys want to tell me about right now? Are you sure? There's not one stock? None of you have any information to provide? No? Okay. That's good. Just making sure. Can you say the name of a company getting new AI contracts? My brother, why? That's the question. Why? So if you're only saying it so people buy it and pump it, no. But I mean, like, do you get what I'm saying? So, I don't know. That's why you asked instead of just saying. So then you wanted to pump it? The fuck? So yeah, the point I'm getting, the gate is closed now, you guys. I don't need to tell you this. Like, why in your heart do you not, like, if you don't share good info and you're only doing it to pump a play, you're not going to have a good time here. So you could silently make a lot of money, just like the guys who pay the plug. Or you could, if you want to get into information sharing, it should be with that goal, with actually sharing viable info, not stuff that's only going to benefit you. Otherwise, that's what I'm saying. It's easier to stay silent, not ruffle any feathers, not bother anybody, not influence, and call it a day. But all the other stuff, man, it's we're done with that. Looks like a dog, but it's not a dog. I think it's pretty funny. It's good though. it's not even, you know, don't get banned, but Chad, the gate has closed. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You're either for us or against us. You don't get it? I get it. I hope you get it. So that's it. You're either gonna help or you're not. You're either gonna do it with us or you're not at all. If you're not helping, you're hurting. You're an enemy. That's it. That's how I view it. I have no sympathy. I have nothing anymore. That's all. IBG, 67%. Innovation Beverage. I would love, and then Rich Robotics back up. That's one of the only ones that didn't really run too much. I guess it's still at 4. Wasn't it higher earlier? Yeah. And then Spy's coming down. What up, Calm? But yeah, that's why, man. So, you know, I think the information is going to help you. You help me with more info. If y'all pumping, doing any of that, you're an enemy. Stop it. That's why. It's simple as that, brother. Simple as that. And we'll see who wins. We'll see where the culture leads, but we have a future and we have a big plan. And I want as many people to take advantage of it, but I ain't going to put a gun to your head to make you money. That's it. It's simple. We got to run. So yeah, man, you're either a pumper or you're not. That's where should be easy to tell. And if you're not a pumper, let's go, baby. But if you are, I think you need to either reevaluate or figure it out as soon as possible. Because like I'm saying, the whole shit will go up, and it'll go up because it's dumb, but it's just not longevity. It's not a real plan that works when it's all said and done. And I've seen more people destroyed by it than actually ever getting something. But then the long term, on the other hand, softwood lumber tariffs would impose strain on North American market. Dude, TOT really dumped. That's the craziest part about today. That's why I'll tell you, man, it's I would say today is end of the month shit, man. End of the month shenanigans. I hope you guys see it, because like equal weight's getting dumped on. You're playing, like I told you, bro, if we come right back down and back up, this is going to be a nightmare. But now you even have bonds fucking doing the same thing. Bonds were one way, you had data, you had all of this reaction, and now they just flipped. So yeah. I'm watching the guy fix my garage on the camera. I should probably invite him in for a fila. Your job, you keep an eye on import alerts. You saw KDP at shipments held for illegal colors. Oh, I think I saw that. I think you said that earlier. Yeah, KDP's already been struggling, so that news will either be a death blow or it's already gonna, it might even bounce off of it. But if it does lead to something big with the government, or they're getting clapped by RFK, that won't be good. What if he's listening to you while he works? I would be like, you're more of a Chad than you think, brother. I'm like, you're already doing it the right way. That's a good first step. Listen to money while making money? Oh, man. MRM on the low. And then what time? 11:30. Euro close, baby. Yeah, man. Let's do some push-ups. Are you guys down? Or are you down for? It's still super early, bro. I think that's why. I remember I was telling you, I was like, the pumpers. I was like, where'd they go? I mean, I banned a lot of them, but I think they were asleep still. But I think they just woke up not too long ago. Like legitimately. I think they wake up at like 8, 9, 10, 11 Eastern. That checks out. Do you guys hear that? Rich Robotic still Bach. That was one we saw just from inception this morning. Been going. And then you got to play this game, bro. It sucks with bonds now because I don't know how this will stack up. Because the difference between all of this oscillation is you had bonds still holding. So now you're breaking to the low end. Maybe we go back up. And now this time, the only thing that's different, you have more names down, but then you don't have bonds playing along. Meanwhile, NASDAQ lost its gain. It's literally matched up with the SPY now. It was doing better by like a quarter previously. Okay, I will do a push-up. We'll play some Josh propaganda in the background. But do you understand that the Lord is with you? And I hope you realize that whether you like my beliefs or not, I really hope this propaganda works for you, okay? I really do. I hope you know I put a lot of love into it. Have you ever had food cooked with love? You know that this is a home-cooked meal of propaganda that I give you of getting a real estate and getting a long-term and caring for your future. Do you understand? So, before you get, again, like they got mad at me for this video. You know that? And this was a life changer. So, everyone's forgiven. Get a long-term. But make sure you care about your future, brothers. Amen. That's a good thing. Woo! Tegna. Whoa, TGNA. Oh, wait, aren't they bought out already? Please hold while we connect your news. Tegna. Yeah, I think it's already bought out, big dog. So watch out for that one, but it might be near close. Oh, MLTX? Yo, that was the one from yesterday. Like I didn't know how this one's going to play out. Remember, because everybody was looking at that. Where's the last one? Yeah, they fucked up all of those. It only goes in increments of 5. But yeah, MLTX, we talked about that yesterday. All right, well, I'm going to play the propaganda. Stand up, get you some push-ups, chest to the sun, flex the core, tuck the hips in. All you got to do, baby. All you got to move your body around. It's good for you. And then, bro, the neck stretches. Yo, can I tell you guys what happened yesterday? Bro, dude, it was the most insane shit ever. I think I've had a muscle in my neck that has been super tight for like 5 years, bro. I like did this stretch and I'm like looking up, bro. And then all of a sudden, my neck just loosens. I can't explain it. And then all of a sudden now, I'm like looking up and down with like zero resistance. It was the craziest thing ever, bro. So yeah, I think I've heavily neglected and I think I have a really tight neck. So that's the new one now with the toes. So now I've done the toe. I'm doing the toes. We doing the mobility in the hips. And then now we got to do the neck release. And that's on top of the weightlifting. But that's what I'm saying. It's the little thing. But dude, it tripped me out, man. So yeah, do a neck stretch. I'm about to go do it. Dude, it worked. The trauma traps, dude. Nah, for real. For real. I think it really is, man. There's a lot of trauma in there. And it just... Bro, it's weird. Even this more... It's a little tight again, but... It's like my neck feels different. I can't explain it. I can. It's been going numb. Yeah, you gotta move, bro. Do like the toe workouts and then even some of the mobility stuff and like wiggle your toes. I had a period like that. I had one where like my foot, this was a couple years ago, it would feel weird and like it would be like either numb or tingling, and it was just, I think it was like sciatica. You just gotta move around. All right, man, but stand up. Let me get you the propaganda. I gotta stretch this out, dog. Gotta stretch this out.
Everybody is lying about real estate when they start saying it's going to crash and all this, because when you look at the situation, it's not going to be that the forbearances come back or a bunch of foreclosures and man,
here. My brother, listen to me. If you want Target, buy it. Don't not buy it because of weird woke shit. Do you understand? That's the beauty about being how we are. We make our decisions based on objective value. You understand? So don't worry. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought MO. I wouldn't have bought Abivai. I wouldn't have bought any of those names. That's the whole idea of it. Judge the stock on its merits, not on its politics. And if you do that, you're going to make a 10-year decision. You know why? Because motherfuckers flip-flop every 4 years, right? Target's going to flip-flop. They're all, Disney's now a fan of Trump. Now they're going to do, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is even what I told my sister. The presidents are going to come and go. You have to look beyond that. And you need that ability. And if you make that wise decision looking beyond it, you will be rewarded. Ask about it. So yeah, I had to chime in.
People are worried. It's because right now there are just not enough homes available. So you could see here, this is just the number of homes for sale since 2019. You're watching all of these crazy price moves, but you'll notice this is down over 50% already. So this is the main point here, because of a lot of people say, oh, well, we could be in a real estate bubble. And that may be true. In 2008, you had over leveraging, you had all of this. It's a lot harder to qualify today. However, I could see how people might argue that, but now the real big part is there is just simply not enough houses. The supply and demand, you could double the amount of houses available, and that would bring you just to how many houses we had in 2019 or 2018. The point is, you cannot really have a bubble until you get this supply out of the way. What happened in 08, a lot of builders, everyone kept seeing, okay, yeah, real estate looks good, so they kept building and building and building, and eventually this supply was able to outweigh the demand. So fast forward about what, 10, 13 years later, you can see now prices have gone back up to those 08 levels and higher, but the difference is they cannot build as fast. Really, right now, you have to get through about, I think, 1.3 million houses currently. That's all the homes that you have available, but essentially the demand is way higher than that. So until the supply is able to meet it, and now with all the prices of wood, supply chains, all that, it's going to take about 2 or 3 years just to get there. And then we might be able to start talking about a real estate bubble. But right now, there is just simply not enough houses available for there to be a bubble of something. It's not as if people are paying wild valuations and prices for something there's an abundance of. That's what was pretty much happening back in the day. The last real estate bubble, you had people spending way higher than the average price in these little areas that really weren't.
Pause the propaganda so you could continue to learn to this day. But do you realize that's a bubble feature? When people are paying an exorbitant price for something that is widely available. You understand? Like, are you getting that? Like, look at all of these stocks. Do you understand how much supply there is? And people are willing to buy it as if it's rare. Welcome to the bubble.
Weren't worth it, and there was supply everywhere, and then that's what eventually led to everything getting collapsed, and then it took a while to rebound. The difference is now you have people paying high prices for something there is a low supply of. So these are all of the little reasons that I want you to keep in mind, but here's just the main point. This is the chart that we started with. If you watch the video I posted, it had to do with the era that oftentimes gets ignored, and that is the 1970s, and this was called the Great Inflation. And now why I brought that up last week, we were talking about stocks, we were talking about even policy and what everything's looking like, and that is because what you're seeing today mirrors that exactly the same way. And finally, what you heard about 2-3 weeks ago, if you heard the CPI, if you watched the news, that was one of your first CPI increases since 2007, the biggest core increase since 1987. So we talked about inflation, prices rising, and then again understanding that what happened back then is essentially happening now, or you could even argue you're doing it at a way bigger scale today. But you have to see what happened to real estate prices. I'll even explain to you why I got here, but take a look at 1963 through 1969. You saw slight increases. Houses were really cheap. This is not inflation adjusted. I think you could like double it up. It would be like $100,000 or something. I have a little bit more data I'll show you, and you'll be able to see the conversion. But I also brought this up. If you remember, like, this is why people were able to buy houses cheap in like the 70s, and then you look back, you're like, wow, that was really cheap. But what do you notice happens after 1970? You really just start to see the median price skyrocket. Now, the green line is the average, the purple is median. So the average does reflect some of the more outliers or higher priced areas. This is just the median home price, which does very, very well lag certain areas. In less popular areas, even today, you could get well below the median price. In some places like California, you're going to be well above the median price. So average has an interesting factor there, but this is what you got to see. From 1970 to 1980, you saw some of the biggest real estate prices. I will go over some of the data with you, and I have even California real estate from the 60s all the way down to 80s, but like I'm saying here, you're seeing 4% gain in the 69, 1% in 1970. And then right after all of these inflationary policies back then, that's where you start to see real estate go crazy, and it starts to look like exactly what you're seeing. You start to get a 9% year, then a 7% year, then 9.2, then 10, then 20, then 16, then 28. We saw about 30%. So I think we're around like right here because we got that last year. But notice from 1970 to 1980, that 10-year period, you just started to get some of the most biggest and wildest real estate jumps out there. So I really hope you watch my video last week about why inflation can have an effect on the market here, but hopefully you see all of this information. It applies to stocks, real estates, crypto, whatever you want. But I am a big real estate investor and I love real estate, so this stuck out to me. But let me even show you a little bit more here, because a lot of people oftentimes are saying, well, if the market crashes, real estate's going to crash. And the usual example I like to go back to is the dot-com bubble, because a lot of people are like, wait a minute, if stocks crash, it brings everything down. No, this is why people like real estate. What you saw in 2008, that was a unique situation caused by the over-leverage, lack of oversight, and practically just fraud mixed with people just profiting off of it. But if you come here leading into the dot-com bubble, you can see 1997, 5% increase, 1998, 7%, 1999, okay, market's getting heated up, so real estate's coming with it, 2000, 11%, but now by 2001, 2, and 3, the market is damn crashed because of the tech bubble. You could go look at it, even 04, that's when things start to pick up, but all you see happen is real estate start to keep shooting up. So this is why I'm saying, please look at the data and look at history. Stop letting people lie to you about what is going on with real estate. Again, I could be wrong myself, but I like to look at history and I encourage you to do the same thing. So coming back to the chart here, you can kind of see what I'm saying here now. From the 1970s and that first wave of policy, inflation, and highly inflationary policies not seen in the 30, 40 years prior, that's what's happening here.
Good times. All right, man. You have 5 minutes of stretching. Whew. I'm going to have to go soon to get this when he's done, but other than that, baby, oh, I love that video. Shout out the long term and history, man. It's kind of fascinating. That's why I keep saying, man, when you like look at history and everything, bro, just look at where you are right now, and we see how things changed in the moment, but you know how it all develops. You know, looking at what the past has shown us. I mean, yeah, you go through changes and you go through big changes, and we are the generation at the forefront of it. He was young, but he wasn't really. But it does sound a lot younger. I think it's crazy. I know I did good, but when I look back and I'm like, holy shit, I really was just making these videos right when it was happening. So that was cool. That was really, really cool to have the biggest inflation in decades or centuries or generations, and to be able to spot it in real time and to make moves off of it. That was once in a lifetime, man. Oh yes, are you done? Hold on.
Today in 2021, we have not seen inflation like this since the 70s or 80s, and then the policies do reflect very well. This was the result on real estate. So now here's the timeline of the United States housing bubble. So I don't know if bubble has a negative connotation, but hopefully you can see what's going on here. But there is a lot of unique factors that did happen. But if you've been paying attention, if you've been following along, this will definitely make the most sense to you. And a lot of people think Freddie and Fannie all had to do with 2008, but no, man, it starts in 1970. Federal Home Loan Mortgage Corporation, Freddie Mac, is chartered by an act of Congress as a GSE to buy mortgages on the secondary market, pool them, sell them as mortgage-backed securities to investors on the open market. Compare that even today. regardless of what Freddie and Fannie are doing, you now have the Fed, and this is why Jerome Powell brings up supporting the real estate market. Or a lot of people say, wait, why are they buying $40 billion a month of mortgages? This is something that the government has actually done for a while. So that's one reason why I always like real estate. You have that support from the government and just the overall market that you're in. The average cost of a new home in 1970 is $26,000, $167,000 in 2017 dollars. From 1960 to 1970, this is my favorite part, inflation rose from 1.4 to 6.5, a 5.1% increase. I believe you're at a 2 or 3% increase right now, or 4%, while the CPI index rose from 85 points in 1960 to about 120 points in 1970, but the median price of a house nearly doubled from $1,650 in 1960 to $26,000 in 1970. In 1970, the median price was $22,000 to $25,000. So that's just from the 60s to 70s. And like the chart and all the data shows you, even from there, it went crazy. But this is one of the biggest factors. One of the first moments you saw big CPI increases back then because of all of those policies. Inflation was a small 3-4% run up, but that led to a doubling of house prices. So this is where it gets better, because this is all of the stuff I've been saying. You're gonna see a lot of stuff, and there will be ups and downs, but you really have to have a 5-10 year plan and being able to hold, because that's where you see stuff. When all of this money gets pumped out and you see all of these things happening, pricing in, it is for the future. So you have to keep that in mind. But now look what happens. You got to double from the 60s to the 70s, but now all of these prices start coming in. Again, the prices have already doubled by 1970. Fast forward to 1975 now, the median house price jumps to $37,200, while the average starts to really go higher here. Why? Because this is starting to reflect now the certain areas that are doing a little better or worse. So bring this up on the calculator here. $37,200. That's the median price in 1975 minus $22,100 in 1970. That is a $15,000 difference, but now divide that by the $22,100 that you started from. That means you almost went up another 70% in that 5-year period after doubling when it started. And then now 5 years later, the median price keeps going up, almost up another 60-70%. The average really starts to diverge now, because this is where you start seeing certain areas grow a lot faster or slower. And then by the end of the year, that year, you were up about another 20 or 30% on real estate. So that is your 10-year period from 1970s and everything else. And this is where you could kind of visualize it. And then really, once you get to 1980s, it still keeps going. So the only time you really saw a big decline was 07 and 09. And you could see it was a little blip. We've came here. This chart only ends at 2016. But the point here isn't to show you really about real estate. I've always liked real estate. But the real point is the policy and what is happening right now with inflation and all of this stuff. It is no coincidence that you are seeing a lot of the same key factors from 1970, and that was a shifting point in real estate. And that's why I'm saying here, if you're aiming in the long term, this is a good opportunity, and I'm sick of people lying about it. There is people gobbling up houses right now, left and right. Yes, there's always going to be risk, and yes, some of you are like, well, I can't qualify this and that. I talked to this person, they said no. Quite frankly, I wouldn't let anybody tell me no right now, and I would find an answer. You can wait. Obviously, be smart. Don't be hasty. Don't FOMO into it. But what I'm trying to say here, at least in the next 5 years, and if you want to make a long-term investing plan, you better have real estate in there, because houses are not going to be getting any cheaper. You may overpay, and it may take a year or two to get up there, but like you can see here, the trend is most likely going to continue. And if they're telling you you can't get a house now, you're probably going to see everybody buy up houses for the next 5 years, and then they'll make it a little bit more accessible. But if you've seen our streams and you've seen what we've talked about, there's opportunities to get it. So I rebuke any doubt or anybody saying if you think you can't do it. I know not everybody is in the best financial position. However, if you make this a goal and you seek out the sources, there's people willing to help, and this is an opportunity to do a lot of damage in here. But you could also see the relative safety in it. You could damn live in this house. This is not being an investment where you cannot utilize it. If it goes down, you got to sell it. It's not Bitcoin. So I hope you guys see the uniqueness of this situation that we're living in. You got the policy, you got the supply crisis, rates are even at a historical all-time low. You should see the rates during these times, But quite frankly, I think this is one of the best opportunities in the next decade. And I really just, I get so surprised. And like I've said, I don't know why everybody started talking about stocks and crypto. And yes, this is a stock channel. Yes, I have crypto and all of that. But I've seen some of the biggest real estate people all say, no, 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 no. And they don't really talk about this. And people aren't really looking at history and making these connections. But I feel like any savvy real estate investor or anybody with a lot of history in this market, they will understand this. So I hope you guys see it. Again, I encourage you to look this up yourself. If you have any questions, let me know. If you ever need any assistance, we have a full real estate team. Reach out through email, tradingfraternity@gmail.com or corealestate@gmail.com. But at the end of the day, we're not doing this for a commission or anything. You don't need to rely on us. Just go ask around and go get what you need to do. You can always send us property. We'll give you our feedback on it, anything of that nature. But I hope you guys are putting this in your plans, and I hope you really see what's going on.
I think it'll be the best opportunity of the next decade. He said, do it. He said, you don't even gotta pay us. And then they hated him. Trump's live. Trump, U.S. will be paying most favored nations. Oh, he's talking about the drugs. It's the Trump RX thing. Ta-da. So yeah, Pfizer's starting to move. It's coming out now. Let's see where your boy is. So yeah, Pfizer,
Far
Merck,
more, 10 times, 13 times, 15 times more.
That's Dr.
than other
Ozpowell.
countries for the exact same product. A major reason is that the American consumers have been subsidizing research and development costs for the entire planet. They put all of that on us, and yet they were the beneficiaries too. So it's being changed as of today. The United States had just 4% of the world's
I think you guys
population
need
and
to
consumers.
start realizing my
Only
voice
13%
correlates
of
with the
all
prices.
Prescription drugs, yet pharmaceutical companies
The younger I
make
sound, the cheaper it was.
75% of their profits from the United States. So think of that, we have 4% of the market. 13% of prescription drugs, and yet
Half a decade, brother.
Oh,
Half
I
a
didn't know you were
decade.
that violent. I'm surprised you're agreeing to this.
I'm getting a bit.
No, he's doing the right thing. Thank you. And yet they make 75% of their profits from the American customers. So it's something.
Pfizer is one of the biggest,
That's why
greatest
I
in the
signed
world.
An executive order combating this practice, and we signed it very happily a little while ago. Today, Pfizer is committing, as will other drug companies as we go through the weeks. But Pfizer is truly one of the biggest in the world and one of the greatest in the world. Today, Pfizer is committing to offer all of their prescription
Sabato
medications
rejects
to
offer.
Medicaid, and it will be at the most favored nation's prices. It's going to have a huge impact on bringing Medicaid costs down like nothing else. I told you that in my first term, I was so proud of the fact that for the first time in 28 years, drug prices came down. And I had a news conference that I explained it was 1/10 of 1%, but it was down. And here we're talking about, in one case, over 1,000%. This is a critical step forward to our work and to improve healthcare, and hardworking, low-income Americans, especially low-income Americans, will be helped so greatly. In addition, Pfizer is agreeing to provide some of their
50
most
to
popular
100% off
medications
in
to all
some
consumers
cases.
at heavily
Pfizer's
discounted
offering a big
prices
government
of
discount.
Anywhere between 50 and even 100%.
Yep.
And that's
My
off-
wire's
that's off
faster
the
for some
price.
reason.
And in some cases, even more than that.
It'll
These
bring Medicaid
drugs will
costs
be
down.
available for direct purchase online at a website operated by the federal government. We're also announcing that moving forward, all new medications introduced by Pfizer to the American market will be sold at the reduced most favored nation cost. So we'll be
So every
paying
Pfizer drug
essentially
is
what
a
other
discount
countries
for
are
the
paying,
government. That's
who
good.
have been
Honestly.
much lower, much lower.
I hope
for
it gets
many, many years.
lower, but
Furthermore, Pfizer will invest
that's
$70
odd.
billion to reshore domestic manufacturing facilities. In other words, they're going to bring a lot of their facilities to make their drugs and make what they make, their product. They're going to make it in the United States. I appreciate that $70 billion investment in fund research and development right here in America. We're working with other major pharmaceutical companies to secure similar agreements. Everyone understands that the status quo where Americans pay
CVS
more
getting
for,
clapped off that. We talked about that
drugs,
earlier when we got the
prescription
rumor.
drugs, and they pay more than foreign countries who take advantage of us in many other ways, although not so many anymore. I think we've pretty well got that stopped, right? I think so. We've stopped that, but they took advantage of a lot of other presidents, that I can tell you. But we're making this pay to be very unacceptable, what they've done in the past. why my administration has also taken historic action to investigate the unfair and discriminatory trade practices of other countries that extort our pharmaceutical makers to shift costs onto the American consumer. They say, no, give us a price, a very low price, and just charge the American consumer, charge it to the U.S. The United States is done subsidizing the health care of the rest of the world. It's a big thing. I can't tell you how big this is. And I was all set to go on a first term, but then you had the COVID, and we had to focus on that. But I said, I want to get back here because you're talking about 14, 15, 1,600% reductions in some cases. But by taking this bold step, we're ending the era of global price gouging at the expense of American families, and we're making America healthy again, which is our little theme for the people behind me. And I want to just ask Secretary Kennedy to come up, and we'll start, and we'll go through it with Oz and Klomp and Bourla and McCary.
Bourla's there?
And we'll go through it, and if you have any questions. But this is a really big announcement.
It is.
This is something that most people said was not doable.
That's like,
other
you guys
countries
realize
are going along.
that's like, this is a step towards like better, like cheaper healthcare. I can't believe it. So you just got Pfizer to agree to sell all of their drugs to the government for half off. So that's not bad. I did not expect that.
In cost. So I think we had a pretty good negotiating position. So Bobby, I'd like you to speak about this, and what a great job, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to start by thanking a couple of people who aren't up here, Theo Merkel, Dr. Heidi Overton, who played key roles in this negotiation and helped make this happen. And also Inma Hernandez, who's not up here, but John Brook and Chris Klump, who were the people who were negotiating, in some cases, I think including last night, 24 hours.
Oh, it could be bad for
without
NPO.
any sleep. This
Unless they want to work with you, but they have a plan in America.
I told my son last night, we're
be.
all under secrecy about this, but I told my son late last night, a 27-year-old son, Connor, who's a very liberal Democrat, and I told him this was happening, and he just paused for a minute.
Yeah,
he
that's
said,
crazy.
"Thank
This
you,
is a
Dad.
liberal
I'm so
thing."
proud of you. Because this is something Democrats
I don't get
have
why.
wanted for
Yeah,
20
this is
years.
actually like crazy.
Republicans have wanted for 20 years. Everybody said they're going to do it. Nobody has even taken a step towards doing it. And the reason was because it was such a daunting task. And, even all of the negotiators, you see, I also want to thank Howard Lutnick. This would not have happened without him. But even all of the negotiators here and all the people on at HHS and at the White House team, all we could see was all the reasons that this couldn't happen. Everybody had tried. Nobody could make it happen. And it was President Trump alone who, with his doggedness, his persistence, he saw this clearly in a way that none of us other, in its most simplest terms. Why are we spending more on this country than any other country? Why are we spending 75% of the revenues that come to the pharmaceutical industry? We're doing all the research, and everybody else is riding on our slipstream. And President Trump, I would say, harangued and harassed us to make this happen. I was getting calls at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. Oh, are you asleep? And you got to get MFN done. And at one point, Dr. Oz told me I can't take the president's calls anymore. I have a lot of reasons. My wife has a lot of reasons to say to me about different things that happen in my life. Doesn't that give you anxiety? And I say, I don't get anxiety. This gave me anxiety. Oh, thank you, President Trump. It would not have happened without your leadership. This is real leadership. It's a president who has a vision and makes that vision happen. And I can't think of any other president of the United States who could have done this in our history. I'm very grateful to you. This is an extraordinary benefit to the American people. Thank you for your vision, President Trump, your bold action, your unwavering commitment to health and well-being of the American people. Never has a president stood up so bravely for the American people with respect to health care. And I, by the way, I forgot to thank Albert Burla. Albert and I have had a long history of antipathy and antagonism toward each other. But I have to say his leadership in this took tremendous courage. And he really created a template for corporate responsibility, for putting public health ahead of his individual interests. So I'm very, very grateful to you for that, Albert. Under the leadership of President Trump, the U.S. government is now acting as a tough negotiator on behalf of the American people. Today is about fairness, it's about equality, it's about giving hope to those who are trying to stay healthy, who are managing illness, and who are fighting for their lives. We refuse to make the most vulnerable citizens continue to pay an unthinkable price for the world's pharmaceutical breakthroughs, which we pay for. This policy is a shield for the chronically ill who have carried the burden of high drug costs.
Oh shit, I was muted.
It's a signal to
ATKR,
every
there's a
American
stake.
family that we're finally putting
Hey,
their
yo,
health and
you guys,
financial
listen.
security first.
You can make
And
fun
it
of how
sets a
he
new
talks.
standard,
That's
one that
totally
says we
okay.
won't write
But
blank
I don't
checks
have
to
to
the drug
write your name
industry
down
any
and
longer.
unban you. Okay?
No family should ever
I hope
be
you know
forced
that.
to choose
So,
between
fuck
filling
it.
a prescription and putting food on the
I'm
table.
just letting you know you're free and I'm
Americans
free
should not
too.
be
So do what you need
gouged
to.
300 or 400 or 1,000% more than people in other countries for the exact same drug, many times manufactured in the same factory in New Jersey and sold in Great Britain for 1/10 the price.
And
that
if you
it's
see
being
me
sold for
ban,
here.
I'm not writing the name
This
down. So
weekend
you
I
guys
was
are
with
black
some
holes. You
friends
better
up
make a
in
new
Martha's
account
Vineyard,
if you want to
and
continue
an
again.
old
But yeah.
friend, one of my
So
oldest
sorry,
friends,
guys.
his wife and
But
daughter
you can
have
blame
chronic
YouTube in your
disease.
choice of words.
And that chronic disease last year
choice of
cost
focus.
$150,000 to treat. And
Finance
the
Minister
mother had to
Reeves
choose
lifts
whether
child
she
cap.
was going to take that money and spend it on her or her daughter. And she spent it on her daughter. So she had to make that choice. It's a choice that no mother should have to make. We did a roundtable recently on drug prices. One patient spent more than $180,000 on one drug. One cashed in all of her savings and worked 3 jobs to make ends meet. One almost quit her job and moved to Germany to get the drug cheaper. Some looked at getting the drug on unsafe secondary markets because they could not afford it through the legitimate markets. Today, we begin to right that ship. For the mother trying to help her child get
Oh
better.
wow, Merck is doing better than
For her
Pfizer.
grandmother at the pharmacy counter, and for millions of Americans who want to restore their health. Today is about another promise made by President Trump and another promise kept by President Trump to the American people. And it's only just the beginning. This is all thanks to your unwavering leadership, Mr. President. Thank you.
Thank you.
There is a fine line between vision and hallucination. People have to follow you for it to be a vision. And President Trump, you made a lot of people following you an idea that most people thought was not possible, even remotely. And when we have that shared vision, and I'll speak to some of the people who are involved in this process because it was an incredible effort that gives me great pride to serve in this administration. And the fact that it did not leak is also an issue of pride for us because these were tough challenges. And Albert Bourla looks very calm up here and cat-like, but he is ferocious when you get him in a negotiating room. This is true for all the pharmaceutical companies that we are negotiating with. And Secretary Kennedy, my son Oliver, who I told about this deal as we was walking over here, is a Republican. And you know what he said? Thank you for making us proud. Because it's not just a Democratic problem, it's a Republican problem. This has not happened before. And it took a crusader like President Trump, with the support of Secretary Kennedy, Secretary Lutnick, I see the vice presidents here as well, just unwavering, dogged pursuit of change. And now I have to admit that I know the president has me on speed dial, and most of the time when he would call me, as Secretary Kennedy alluded to, it was about MFN, and he always had reasons why we needed to go faster and why people were being hurt today because we're allowing the kinds of pricing that had been tolerated for so many decades in America. The time of the day didn't matter, the day of the week didn't matter, and that's how the president was functioning. This was such an important part of what he saw as his legacy, which is why it brings such pride to all of us up here and many others to deliver it. And the laser focus that the president had on this which he shared with me the day that I was nominated, that he nominated me for this position, and has reminded me frequently since, made it a top priority for us as well at CMS. Now, to do this, you have to have tactics, not just vision, but tactics. And the first tactic the president shared was to introduce me to Albert Bourla. He took us to dinner with Secretary Kennedy, and he argued, and he's a great deal maker, as you know,
Albert Bourla.
that if you're going to make
Yeah,
a
fuck
deal
him.
of this scope, of this nature, you need trust.
But thanks for the
So the
cheap
president
drugs now.
lit the kindling. He got the embers going, but he needed us to nurture that beginning of a fire so they would blaze into what today we can announce as the grand deal, one of the greatest ever, certainly in the space of pharmaceuticals.
Why don't you just
I gained
mandate
to
it and make us
respect
lose our
Albert,
jobs
and
if
I'll
we
tell
disagree?
you why, in particular.
Why they could
It
have
was
just done
because
that
he
from the jump.
recognized the dangerous problems facing so many Americans, that they had to choose
Weird.
between taking medications prescribed by
He's
their
a Dr.
doctor
Oz
that could be life-saving, or shopping at the grocery store, paying for their kids a fundamentally important need that would be squeezed out because they couldn't compromise on drugs, or often worse, they compromise on the drugs. 1/3 of all prescriptions are not filled in the pharmacy because of this. We talked through the winter. We talked through the spring. We talked through the summer. And we got nowhere. We stalled. The industry is powerful. They're important. They have smart people. There's no reason for them to give the numbers that the president is articulating today. And you see these numbers on the charts around us. These are massive wins for the American people. But the president in July demanded, after the executive order, that manufacturers make a firm commitment and to lower prices or else. And it sent shockwaves through the industry. It got the ball rolling again.
It's still early.
Our
It's
talks
only
with
9
Albert
o'clock.
heated up.
It
But
sucks
wasn't
we were
until
doing the
last week,
oscillation. You
if you want
haven't
an inside
moved.
story,
Bonds
it
are
wasn't
still
until
near the
last
low.
week that we made a major
lot of these
breakthrough.
medical companies
and
are
our
still
hardworking
moving, and
team
then banks
embarked
are
on
still
a
dying.
remarkable story that I think books will be written about
Active shooter at
24/7
McGuire,
nonstop with
AFB,
industry, with
another
Albert, with
one,
his great
dude?
team at Pfizer. And with this
All right,
partnership,
you might
we
have
began
another
to
active shooter
deal
somewhere
with
in
the
America.
fundamental challenges we have, which is protecting medical advances for the future while at the same time securing the prices Americans want today. We're going to continue to stimulate and strengthen innovation. That's what a great country does, and we are a great country with a great leader. We're going to protect the U.S. hegemony in R&D. We dominate the planet in discovering cures for illnesses. All those orphan ailments, all those remarkable advances, they come from research labs here with companies like Pfizer and other great ones in the pharmaceutical space. We're going to lead in the life sciences. We're going to lead in ideas. And we're going to make sure that we do all that while we're being fair to the American people, especially our most vulnerable. We're going to finally deliver on the fair drug prices that President Trump has been speaking about for 2 terms. We're going to celebrate this historic day, I predict, this historic day in the medical field for generations to come. The heroic negotiators that I do feel compelled to mention, and Secretary Kennedy kindly also mentioned their names. Some of them can't be in here because they're busy negotiating future deals. Inma Hernandez-Delso, John Brooks, who's a deputy administrator of mine, Theo Merkel, who is in the back and tall and hard to miss with DPC, and Corey Enslin with the same group, did a spectacular job, and Don Dempsey at OMB. Just wonderful human beings, worked tirelessly to get this done. We were able to secure this first MFN deal, and the president touched on this, but we have much more to come. You'll be hearing breaking news from the president for the rest of the fall. And Mr. President, these brilliant minds are here because of you. Now, I don't want to just pay homage to this. I want to actually speak this a little bit. The passion to protect the American people brings top-tier Americans into the government. We've created a powerful administration with the president's leadership, an administration of winners. People get things done. They see the generational opportunity to fix the biggest problems our nation faces. And the person who led this negotiation, Chris Klump, embodies the
ATKR
seal.
was a stake.
Now, Chris
There
Klump
was
came to
one
visit
10-cent
Secretary
option.
Kennedy
didn't
and I.
take
The
it,
very
but
first day, we were
Yeah.
looking for staff
They
to
didn't
try
move
to
too much. The ones
bring in
out
the government. And
further
we,
time
neither of
are
us
really
really
expensive.
had an idea of how challenging this might be. And he came to the interview, and we knew that he had built a business that was worth
Meta
several
to
$100
acquire
million.
AI chip startup
And the
Rebos.
secretary, very poker-faced as he tends to be, looked at him and said, "Are you willing to give it all up and move your family to Washington?" A young family, 4 young children, beautiful wife. "Are you willing to come across the country and serve our nation, serve this president to ensure vital programs like Medicare, which he runs, will keep our seniors healthy for years to come?" He gave it all up, like so many have in this administration, passionate to follow the president's lead and serve under Secretary Kennedy. And for those of you at home who are watching, and I hope there are quite a few, I think this shows just how cool a place it is to work, is in this government. And I take great pride in handing the ball to Chris. Chris, tell the American people what they have won, thanks to your passionate ability to deliver
Why does it sound
on
like Price
President
is
Trump's
Right?
promise.
Tell them what they won.
A new car! Paid for by Albert Bourla.
Thank you, Mr. President. You have enabled something that as recently as
Amazon
last night,
partners up with FanDuel.
nearly
for
everyone
real-time
has said
betting.
was impossible. And Secretary Kennedy and Administrator Oz, thank you for having trust in us as a negotiating team to drive this forward on behalf of the American people. It is an absolute honor and privilege. And Mr. Bourla, to you and to the team at Pfizer, you have taken a step that I think few appreciate, requires a level of courage to change something that for decades
What do you mean? Forced
administrations
us all
have
to...
tried. And there was no incentive rationally for you to do, and yet you've done
What do you-
it
we already
because you
gave him
recognize
$20
the
billion!
opportunity to align your economic interest
Fucking
with the social
incentive
interest of
my
the American
ass.
people, and we are grateful. Today is historic, as has been discussed. This is a major win in the battle for affordable health care and affordable drugs. As the president said, on average, we pay nearly 3 times what the rest of the wealthy world pays for branded pharmaceuticals. And yet we drive more than 50% of global R&D, 50% of revenues, nearly 70% of profits. It's unjust, it's morally unjust. And when this happens, we stifle innovation and we limit access for the most vulnerable people across the planet and in America who need these medications. And so the president directed us to make deals. That's what he does, and it's what we do. And all great deals, and this is a great deal, are rooted in principles. And this deal
Yeah,
is rooted
Flutter,
in the principle
damn it, it didn't
of
really move off
fairness.
that.
Now, the president could have directed us
Yeah,
to
Eli
go to
Lilly
the poorest
and
country on the
NVO
planet
reacting.
and find the cheapest price for every single drug and bring that back to the United States and use the might of the government to insist that that's the price we pay. And that might have worked actually for just a little bit, but very quickly it would have utterly destroyed innovation in pharmaceuticals. It would have destroyed American primacy in building life-saving medications. There are nearly 20,000 known diseases on the planet. We have treatments or cures for far fewer than 10% of them. So that would have been a bad strategy, and it would have limited access to those who need those medications the most. But he didn't call for that. He didn't call for 50% lower than the lowest price on the planet. What he called for was fairness. And that's a powerful principle because we all grow up wanting to be on the right side of fair. And it allowed us to do what has not been done before, which is to call on manufacturers and ask them to be fair, and allows us to go to countries and ask them to pay their fair share in the battle against global disease. And that is the unlock for this great deal. Now, it's my privilege to talk just for a few minutes about the details of the deal. First, let's start with the definition of MFN. What do we mean by that? This is not made up list prices that have often been quoted in prior administrations, stuffed with fees and rebates. We're talking about we start at net prices, after fees, after rebates, the prices people actually pay here, the prices people actually pay in other wealthy countries. We then index to a basket of countries, wealthy countries across the world. And we go drug by drug and we look for the lowest price. And that becomes the starting point for what an MFN price is in the United States. And then we've built this principles of fairness on 5 key pillars, as we've talked about. Number 1, as has been discussed, direct access for patients at Trump RX, which is a site soon to be launched, available often at full MFN and always at lower prices than currently available. This is bypassing middlemen. It increases transparency.
Mark Cuban must be
In many
reeling.
instances, prices are 80%
He's either going to
lower
start
than they
trying
are
to
today.
partner up with Trump or
No
he's
more
pissed.
Canadian detours to purchase drugs more inexpensively at our neighbor. You do it from home. You do it a click. This is American ingenuity outsmarting the system. Number 2, the president was very clear to us and directed us to ensure that we secured the lowest prices for the most vulnerable Americans, those who are served by Medicaid. So we focused there first. So Pfizer will be putting virtually all of its portfolio of drugs at MFN prices available to Medicaid in the near future. This safeguards the program. This ensures that this program lives as a lifeline without undue burden on the taxpayer for those who need it most, for our vulnerable Americans whom we are charged morally to care for. The third principle is about future-proofing fairness. This is the idea that Pfizer has committed, as are other manufacturers, that they will not launch a new
Truth, guys.
drug
Don't worry,
for
brother.
commercial,
Don't worry.
Medicare, Medicaid,
We
or
learned
cash
something
pay
yesterday.
markets
So
at a
that
price
OpenAI news,
that is higher
it was
than
late
the other wealthy
because I was
world.
taking a
Now,
piss,
they are free
but
to
then
price their
everybody
drugs wherever they
posted
want.
it when
These
I
are
got back.
not price caps. These are not
So,
price controls.
if you don't know
They can
what
price however they'd
happens,
like.
brother, with
We're
part of
simply
the shadow
asking them,
ban,
and
we
they
have
are
our
committing
Google
not
shit,
to undercut
but
us in other
our
countries.
influence on Wall
This
Street
is
is
an
real.
essential principle.
Okay, what
This
happens
allows
is you
us
probably
to
have one
retrain
person
other
watching
countries
and they're going to
appropriately
represent another
value
organization
innovation
and
for their
use the info.
citizens,
But
to
a lot of them are
appropriately
lazy
understand
and
what
they don't
fair
know what they're
share
doing.
means to
That's why.
contribute global
So
R&D.
whether you know what's
This
where the
allows
video's
us
at,
not to
you know
compromise
what's going
access
on, and
for
then
those who need
there's
it most.
I'm
And this
tracking
is a
it down.
powerful
There's
commitment.
a source, but
The fourth
pretty
principle is
much our
around shared
reach here is
savings.
about 10 times
As,
larger than you would
our
suspect.
commerce colleagues
And the
and
point
as our
is,
US trade
it's always going to
representative
be
colleagues
on.
succeed
You know it's
in
here.
encouraging
You
other
know where the
countries to
info
pay
is.
more
If you
for
don't get it
existing
from me
medications.
directly,
A portion
I would
of that will
argue
go
there's
to
a
fund additional R&D,
75%
and a
chance
portion of that
you're
will
getting what
repatriate
I'm
back to the
saying
United
from
States to
somebody
offset
chopping
prices,
it up.
lower prices further
So
for
watch
Americans
out,
on
but
those existing
yeah,
drugs.
don't worry.
And the fifth
You
principle,
spread the word,
as
or you're going to
discussed,
become one of
with
those
hats
guys.
off to Secretary Letnick and Ambassador Jameson Greer
You'll
from
see.
US
I'll
Trade,
show it to you
is
eventually.
about
but
Pfizer committing
we got a lot
to
of cool stuff.
onshore
100% tech that we
of
figured
the
out.
value of all imports that it currently imports to the United States.
I don't know why
Thus
screens are not. They're
ensuring
small though.
that we seal our great American resurgence. If you're watching this right now,
I am.
and you have been looking for evidence that this is a president who knows and cares about you, who is fighting for you, who is fighting for every American, this is Exhibit A. This is not an empty promise. It's not platitudes. It's not lacking a plan. These are hard contracts with teeth, lowering prices now.
I'm
that we will
very
all
surprised by
feel.
this.
These are the most significant, historical,
I'm still mad about the
substantive,
spending bill,
mathematically
but
quantified price
good.
reductions in the history of our country and modern-day pharmaceuticals. I cannot thank you enough for your leadership in enabling this to happen. It is an absolute pleasure. The president has showed us that the impossible can be achieved, and that is what's happened today. God bless America. With that in mind, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce Albert Bourla, CEO of Pfizer.
Okay.
Mr. President, what an honor to be here today in this office to announce a landmark agreement. I think it's an historic day.
Is this the coolest office? He has a beautiful office, but the Oval is the coolest, right? What do you think?
I think by far. And I have seen other presidents' offices, there's nothing like that.
It's good office.
Yeah.
Oh, he knew Trump.
So it's an historic day because I think
Well, you've
today
seen
we are
other
turning the
presidents.
tide
Yours the best.
and we are reversing
USTR
an
Greer,
unfair
we're going to find
situation.
China, trade with
For
China,
years,
need to find a place where
Other
they're
rich
comfortable.
nations refuse to pay
Eli Lilly,
the
too,
fair
again.
share for the medical innovation. And as a result, Americans had to assume disproportional cost on their shoulders. This situation, we all knew, is not sustainable. This situation is a situation that many wanted to change, but no one could. This is changing today with this agreement. In July, the president sent to me and other heads of pharmaceutical companies a letter. And over there, he articulated 4 specific requests. These requests, it was obvious to us, were designed to lower drug cost in the America in different ways, each one of them. And altogether,
I don't
holistically,
care, Boyko.
to have
Go
synergistic
talk to
effect
Nick
in
Fuentes
the
if
impact
you're going to
will
bring that
have
up all the
in
time.
the U.S. healthcare costs
All of you.
and
You guys are
patients.
banned now. So I guess
this
today's the
deal
end
that
of
we signed
unbanning you
today,
guys.
We satisfied all
I
4
guess
presidents.
you know, I didn't have
All
it
4.
planned today, but I don't really feel the
The
need
big
to write
winner
your guys'
of this
names
deal
down
clearly
for
will
some
be
odd
the
reason.
American
So
press. There is
yeah,
no doubt about
just
it.
welcome
They are
to the black
ones
hole, man.
That will see
It's gonna cost
significant
$4.99,
impact
and I hope
in
you didn't
their
have premium
ability
on
to
that
buy
account.
medicines. But I would
There's a lot
argue
of
that
ads.
it is not the only winner. I think who else is a winner here? It is American innovation and American economy. In our industry, we had 2 major overhangs that have substantially reduced our valuations and create concerns for us in our ability to invest. We are addressing both of them right now, and I will speak about them. The first one was the uncertainty of tariffs. Because President is absolutely right. Tariffs is the most powerful tool to motivate behaviors, Mr. President, and clearly motivated ours, right? So,
We like more.
by this agreement that we did,
All right,
we
Spy's going
commit
back up
to
now,
onshore
finally.
the
Took an hour.
production of our medicines that are consumed in the U.S. and are made outside the U.S.
Kind of have
And
Google
for
coming
that,
up.
we are ready to unleash our investment portfolio in this country. And the president graciously gave us a 3 years grace period that we will not be subject to the 232 tariffs,
Oh, wow.
as long as, of course, we move the products here. That's
There
one.
you go.
The second overhand in our industry was
Now Pfizer's
this
going to use that money
uncertainty.
to build,
What
and then
will
they're
happen
exempt. Yeah, 3-year
with the
gap. It's
framework
moving
of
off
pricing
that.
in the country.
That's big.
Because this uncertainty,
A little
it
bit
was
of new
what
guidance.
was
That means
holding
whatever
people from
Pfizer is going to
investing
be
in
the
pharmaceutical
exempt one
industry, which
for
resulted
3
in
years, not
significant
subject to any
reduction of our
232
multiples.
tariffs.
Actually, our multiples are at historical low. Well, now we have clarity about what is the framework for the U.S. price.
See what MRK
Read the
does,
letter
'cause
of
they're
President
already
Trump,
outperforming.
read
SPY's
the 4
breaking
points,
out now.
and
Hi.
this is the framework. And we will abide to that.
This is
And going
Albert
forward,
Bourla of
this
Pfizer
is
who's
how
talking right
things
now.
will be priced in the U.S. and abroad. We are ready to invest, as the president also mentioned, $70 billion in the next few years from Pfizer in manufacturing and research in America alone. I really think this is an historical moment because also I can put that behind us and focus on the things that I want to spend my time. Cancer treatments, to bring better obesity medicines, to bring better vaccines, to bring things that people value.
weird vaccines
and
fell to
thank you for
number
allowing
3.
us to do that.
But yeah.
I want to thank Secretary Kennedy.
He said
I
cancer,
want to thank
obesity,
Secretary Latvia.
and then we do
Your
the thing we
leadership
made you all
helped
do.
us to pull that together.
We got to pay the good money.
You are the mastermind of everything.
Okay, bro.
And
SPY's going
without
apeshit
the
now all of a
brilliant
sudden.
way that you
We
designed
just
the
took
whole
an
thing,
hour
we
on the
wouldn't be able to make that.
oscillation, and then these are
But
your biggest
we're even
candles
more
of the
brilliant
day.
because you had
Equal weights
someone
playing
in your
along,
team
and then a couple of
that,
other
he was the
value
driving
healthcare plays.
force
Even Pfizer,
behind
they're moving on
everything.
that.
I don't have words to thank you for your integrity, and it is what you have said. We created trust from day one, and that was the most important thing that allowed us to be able to pull very difficult negotiations. Of course, also I want to thank the U.S. trade representative, who is also heavily engaged, and he's probably the first trade representative that I have seen that cares about our industry and cares to do something about unfair situations out there, but more than anyone else. Mr. President, I want to thank you for your leadership and frankly for your friendship. Thank you.
Albert, thank you very much. Great job. Great job.
Thank you, Mr. President. The growth of drug spending, that is, the increase in drug pricing, is the fastest and biggest increasing area of healthcare spending. So today's announcement has incredible implications for healthcare spending in the United States. And today marks the beginning of the end of the Great American Ripoff. And it also marks the beginning and the end of a great American tragedy, something I've seen as a physician at the bedside. Patients getting spun up into a financial rage, doing GoFundMe campaigns online, sending repeat reminders, asking people to donate, getting their churches to pass the offering plate from pew to pew, Sunday after Sunday, to try to get enough money to pay for a drug in the United States, a drug that's 5 or 10 times more expensive than the same drug in France or Germany or the UK. People get spun up and it's a tragedy. Having cancer is hard enough. Getting spun up into a financial rage in order to try to get the money to pay for treatment makes it so much harder. 37% of people who go through cancer care say in the end that the financial toxicity makes them want to avoid or delay care in the future. That is, they're done with it. They're done with the system. That's how toxic financial toxicity can be. And for what? For what? So the U.S. can finance the R&D of the world? Well, that ends today, thanks to President Trump. So we want to see R&D. We want to see American pharmaceutical companies thrive. We want to see pharmaceutical companies that do business and manufacture in the United States thrive. At the FDA, we're doing our part. If you're going to equalize your price to that of other wealthy countries, we're not talking about Zimbabwe. We're talking about Germany, France, UK, Japan, other wealthy countries, the OECD countries. If you equalize your price, then we're going to put your future applications at the front of the line. A voucher to get a review in weeks has a market street value of about $500 million. because every day is money. when it comes to
Longeveron.
getting a drug approved.
Now remember?
And so if you meet one of the president's national priorities stated very clearly, moving manufacturing to the United States, meeting a large unmet public health need, or equalizing your prices. We're the largest purchasers of drugs, we deserve the best prices. And so we're gonna do our part. And if a generic company makes their drug in the United States, that application is gonna move to the front of the line as well. And if you're gonna build a plant in the United States, our FDA inspectors will walk through that plant during the construction phase, something never done before, so that it's ready on day one. So thank you, Mr. President, for your leadership. They said it couldn't be done, and here we are. Thank you.
Chris, you may want to go up and just show one of the boards about how quickly the prices come down. And these are small examples. We're going to have it over 1,000% in some cases. You'll see that during the week. But we just picked out 4 at random, and you see the kind of numbers. Bobby and maybe Albert, good.
The President mentioned this is not the only agreement. It is the first. It's a historic agreement.
It is the
There
first.
are many to come, and we're excited to talk about them. And that means hundreds and hundreds of drugs. We are not exaggerating when we talk about reductions of up to 80%. We give you 4 examples here. One for dermatitis. The new price at MFN results in 80% reduction to what's available today. One in postmenopausal osteoporosis, 85%. Migraines that affect so many Americans, 50% reductions. Rheumatoid arthritis, something my mother struggled with.
That's
40%
Abby
reductions. This is about access. This is about ensuring Americans
So yeah,
have access.
they'll
to
get
life-saving
BMY,
medications.
Merck now,
These are
but
real
that was
prices.
Abivy. They're
These are
already
net
up.
prices.
We already got
They're not
Merck
made
and
up. They're not
Pfizer.
funny numbers.
Check BMY. That could be another one. But those little ailments he just mentioned, if you paired it up with the company, I think they all moved.
We've been standing here talking about the Make America Healthy Again a lot lately, and I think our meeting the other day was excellent on a thing called Tylenol. That was a very important meeting. I think that was a very important meeting. And this, in terms of pricing,
You know, I don't like the. I'm going to pay 10 times more for
It's going to be
drugs.
great for everything.
Why would I take drug
medicine
pricing
costs are coming way
advice
down.
from a fat guy
We
who
have
eats
some
McDonald's?
examples that I think we'll be
Fuck
able to
you,
show
Donald
next
Trump.
week of over
I'm going to go to my
1,000% in
doctor
some
and
cases.
insist on paying 10
Where a
times
pill
more
that
today.
costs
Fuck you.
$10 in
I'll
London
never
was
listen.
costing $130.
Why would I listen to
in
him for
New York
advice? Why? He's not a
various other
doctor.
places within the
I'm going to pay
United
more.
States. And,
Fuck that,
the
Albert.
Same thing with Canada.
You're not
People go to
getting me
Canada,
with your
they go
little
to Mexico,
Maganomics. I'm paying
they go to
more.
other places to buy drugs.
Fuck
They don't have
y'all.
to do that anymore. So we have favored nations. So that's what we have, and it's one of the biggest days I think anybody will ever have. We're talking about massive numbers, and the numbers are going to get even better with a little time. And I will say, Albert, I think that the drug companies are going to be the same. You're going to, you know, the world, we're really competing against the world, so they have more people. So we'll come down a lot, and the world's going to go up a little bit. And the end result is you're going to, I think, do the same business pretty much. Maybe you'll figure a way to do more business, I think, knowing you.
All I know
But,
is all of you
I think
trying
the
to
drug
spend
companies,
less
we're gonna
on
come down a
medicine.
lot.
You're supporting
US
Trump and you're a
US will come
fascist.
down a lot.
That's all I know.
But the world,
So
many
you
more
could go
people,
and
is gonna
enjoy
go up a
your
little
cheap
bit,
drugs knowing you're
and it
supporting
equalized,
fascism.
and
I'm going to
it's,
pay more because
it's a
I'm
great
not a
tribute.
fascist. Fuck
And I
you.
want to thank everybody up here.
Gosh.
JD, thank you for all of your
You're going to
help
take
too,
drug
and
pricing
Howard's
advice
great.
from him?
Really
Really?
good job. Thank you all very much.
Really?
Do you have any questions? How about we focus on this? It's so big. Let's focus on this.
Can you please give us a timeline?
Yeah, Mr. President, first of all, this kind of goes along with your America First campaign promises, lowering healthcare costs. On a day that it seems like we're going into a government shutdown led by Democrats on the premise of providing health benefits to illegals, this seems to, your move here is a stark contrast to that. Could the same principles that you did today apply to health insurance, to maybe lower the cost of health insurance? Many Americans are kind of struggling
And
with
we're
that as
working
well.
on just that, little different group, but we're working on just that. It could, I don't know to this extent. You know, we have a pill, one pill in particular we're going to show you next week. It sells for $10 in other countries and $137 in the U.S. And that's coming down now to probably $15 or $18. They'll go up to 18. I think that's pretty much right, Albert. It's not you, but they'll go up to 18 and we'll come down from 135 or whatever down to 18. I mean, that's a massive number. Remember, I was the one that held a news conference because I lowered drug prices by 1/4%. I think it was 1/8 of 1%, but it was the only one in 28 years that brought drug prices down for the year. But it was a very small number. Now we're talking about, you're going to see one over 1,000%. Look at these numbers. So, and this has a big impact, even on the discussion that we'll have with Chuck Schumer, who was here yesterday, along with a very nice gentleman who I didn't really know. You know who I'm talking about. The two of them came and we had a good discussion, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens, but this has a huge impact on that because these numbers are going to bring Medicaid. We talk about Obamacare. Obamacare is a failure. Obamacare is not good. It's there, but relative to other healthcare programs, it's in the lower 20%. It's not good. And I asked the Democrat representatives, what do you think about coming up with a better healthcare? This actually allows you to do that because the cost of prescription medicine is a very big, more than 50% the cost of what we're talking about. So we might be able to do something like that. This is one of the biggest news conference from a medical standpoint that I think has ever been had by any administration. Yeah, please.
I'm curious, where are the other companies other than Pfizer? Are you expecting them to come later?
They're all with us. And I was honored to have Albert be the first. He's done a fantastic job with, as you know, with the COVID. He did a fantastic job with a lot of things. He's a leader, and Pfizer is right at the top. It's there. Eli Lilly has been fantastic also, your friend, my friend.
Oh, Eli.
And, they're all coming in over the next week. We're making deals with all of them. And I
Eli's
said if we don't make a deal,
now.
then we're going to tariff them an extra 5, 6, 7, 8%, whatever the difference is, and we'll take it that way. So we took away the advantage by the fact that we have tariffs. We took away the advantage that they would have of just saying no and we couldn't do anything about it. If they do that, what we do is we'd put a tariff on them of an equivalent amount, and we take it that way. And nobody wants to play that game. So they're going to be, they're all going to be good. We didn't have to mention that to Albert. Well, maybe I whispered it to him very slightly, We had to give ourselves a little bit of an advantage. But the tariffs played a big role because they know that's what's going to happen.
Little fuckers.
The exemption of the 232s, but can you share a timeline for when we can expect the results of that 232 investigation?
Let Howard answer that question, please.
Sure. So while we're negotiating with these companies, we're going to let them play out and finish these negotiations because they are the most important thing to the American people. So we are standing by, helping and working with them, but the driver of the 232 outcomes is our HHS team because, look what they've accomplished today. So we are on their side helping them, but that is the model that's going to drive.
And you have to understand, Albert's spending $70 billion that he wouldn't be spending because of the tariffs, let's say, and other reasons. I think he liked the winner of November 5th, in all fairness, but because of the tariffs. And that wouldn't happen. He's not going to pay any tariffs because when he moves here, there are no tariffs. So he won't be paying tariffs. That's the beauty of it. If you move here, there are no tariffs. And we have over $17 trillion, Albert.
David, let's do it, baby.
So Biden had less than $1 trillion for 4 years.
It's all that's there, bro.
Over 17
take
trillion
it out. Tell
for
yourself. Use your mind. I want you
8
coming in with
months.
the same confidence
Pretty amazing.
that got you those cribs, dog. Let's
When
go.
will prices come down, Mr. President? When?
They're going to start coming down. Drug prices? Well, they'll be starting immediately. Yeah.
President, can you speak to what impact you think this reduction in drug prices will have on midterms coming up?
I think it's going to have a huge. I said, if we can pull this off before midterms, I've wanted to do it from the beginning, from my first day in first term. And we were doing so well. We had the greatest economy we've ever had. Everything was good. And then we're ready to do this, which is complex and big. It's a big change. But what happened is COVID came, and we focused on COVID. We focused on COVID very hard with Albert, with the other companies, with everybody. Regeneron was a great thing. We did a lot of therapeutics that were fantastic. And so we focused on that. And I said, if I pull this off again, the first thing I'm going to do, and we've been working on this for 8 months. This is a very big deal. This is a big shock to the system. but it's not as much as I said. They're going to go up. The world is going to go up a little bit. We're going to come down a lot, but now it's fair. We're going to be paying the same thing. Yeah, please.
Trump, in your first term, when you cut the price of insulin, Biden later came in. He tried to steal credit for that. Do you worry that the Democrats are going to try to steal credit for these historic cuts?
I really appreciate your question, because I did. I cut the price of insulin down to $35. And the problem is with many of these things, and in this case it's going to be pretty quick, but oftentimes you'll do something medically because of the process, and it won't be seen for 2 or 3 years. That happened also with, I could say 4 different things, but just if you talk about insulin, so it was 200, 300, 500, and you couldn't get it, and I got it down to 35. And I said, I hope I win the next election, because otherwise whoever wins is going to take credit for it. Well, what happened is we did win the election. We did great. But unfortunately, it didn't work out that way from a practical standpoint. And Biden, when I saw him get up and take credit for the $35 and even less insulin, that was 1,000% lower than what it was just previous. Boy, I tell you, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So I did the best I could to let him know we did it, because we want to be given credit. But we are the ones that got insulin down to that number. And you're right, they tried to take credit for it. They had nothing to do. In fact, they didn't even know what happened. All of a sudden, the insulin price kicked in at $35. And they asked Biden about it. He had no idea what the hell they were talking about. But after they explained, and they didn't really explain to him because he was not capable really of understanding it. But when they went out and talked about it, they acted like it was a great feat by Biden. It had nothing to do with him. And it continues, and we'll get it down even further. But insulin was, people weren't taking it, I would imagine. They couldn't take it. God bless you, Bobby. I hope I didn't catch COVID just there. Don't you have Paxlovid? What is it?
I have it here.
He's got Paxlovid. Give me a Paxlovid immediately.
Ignoring what you're doing for the American people. She's going after
the Pfizer's. They went up 300% or 200 on the bid.
Healthcare for illegal aliens. Last night, Nancy Pelosi. She went on NBC last night, dropped a bunch of F-bombs, told Republicans to go F themselves. Has she lost her mind?
We have done an unbelievable job medically. Just this, if you did nothing else, we've done a lot like the insulin. But just this, nobody can ever catch this. This is the biggest price reduction times, maybe 10 times, 15 times than has ever been given before. And this is going to have a huge impact. You know, as I said, Obamacare is not a good thing. It's been bad. And I'd like to make it better. I told them, I spoke to a lot of people, a lot of Democrats recently. I said, why don't we change it? We can make Obamacare much better. We could come up with a new system that would be much better, less expensive for the people and better. This is maybe the biggest breakthrough, because you know, when you're talking about the prescription drugs, that's a big part of it. So we're going to look. This is prescription, but we're going to be looking at that. We could come up and through this whole thing, you know, because I don't know, we'll probably have a shutdown, because one of the things they want to do is they want to give incredible Medicare, the Cadillac Medicare, to illegal immigrants. And what that does is it keeps them coming into our country, and like they do in California. And no country can afford that. No country. And we have the border stopped up. We have it closed. We have nobody for 4 months. Zero people came in. That wasn't me. That's by the authorities, who happen to be liberally oriented. But just think of that. We have people offering health care to people all over the world that they can't afford to pay. And that's the Democrats. And what that does is it brings people into the country because they want to come in for the health care. But no country can afford it, and they can't afford it. So we cannot allow them to charge tremendous amounts of money for health care for people that aren't even citizens. And in many cases, they come in from prisons, jails, and mental institutions. And we can't let that happen.
Trump don't care?
We have a big fight over that. We have a fight over open borders.
Do you not
they still want
understand
open
what just
borders.
happened today?
We're having a fight over
But then
men
you
and
said I
women's
caused
sports,
FOMO
if you believe
earlier
it.
today, bro.
You would have thought they would have learned.
Imagine the guy
That's not a
telling
good
you
issue.
shit before the world.
And we have a fight
is giving
in
you FOMO,
transgender,
bro.
as you know, transgender
I'm giving
for
you
everybody.
fucking gems.
And that,
You
when
too
you talk
blinded to
medically,
see
that's
it.
a lot of money too. That's a lot.
That's another one
those
today.
operations.
So make sure you guys know
those operations
the
are bad.
bans have changed
So,
today. Y'all
those
pushed
things
it
are
too
also
far.
being discussed.
I'm just not
right now.
unbanning.
Can you
I'll
imagine
unban
we're
whoever
actually
was
talking
written
about
down,
open
but
borders, and we now have
if
a
y'all
great
getting
border,
banned, bro, y'all
and we
have
have
a
a
big
great
black
country.
hole now.
Our country was
sorry.
dead 1 year
Not
ago.
really,
Now we
but
have the hottest country
I'm just
anywhere
sorry
in the
that it
world.
had to be
Big
that
difference.
way.
Yeah.
So I'm not sorry for my
What do you
decision.
say about the state of the
Undocumented.
Democrat Party when they have a 33% favorability rating on average in recent months, and they're willing to shut down the government over healthcare for
They are shutting it down. We're not shutting it down. We don't want it to shut down because we have the greatest period of time ever. I told you we have
Yeah, but those
$17
Pfizer's
trillion
hit, bro. You
being
got,
invested. So the last
400%
person that
now.
wants it shut down is
300
us
on
now.
the bid.
With that being said,
then the other ones,
we
all
can
of them
do
fucking
things
hit.
during the shutdown
Woo!
that are irreversible.
Yalla.
That are bad for them and irreversible
Yeah, Merck is
by
up
them.
300% now.
Like cutting vast numbers of
So you
people
can do
out,
something
cutting
with that.
things
You already
that they
made it
like,
free at
cutting
100 if you
programs that
took
they
it,
like.
but
And you all know
beautiful,
Russell Vought. He's become very popular recently because he can trim the budget to a level that you couldn't do any other way. So they're taking a risk by having a shutdown because of the shutdown, we can do things medically and other ways, including benefits. We can cut large numbers of people out. We don't want to do that, but we don't want fraud, waste, and abuse. And, we're cutting that. But they want to have illegal aliens come into our country and get massive health care at the cost to everybody else, and we don't have it. And that's I would say, the number one reason that they want to strike is to get illegal immigrants health care.
I
And,
hope it
Gavin
leads to a
Newsom wants
way.
that
So
too in
listen to what they
California, and
said
it's
about
destroying
fall.
California.
There's going to be a
We
lot
can't have
more
that.
in
We're not gonna let it
store.
happen.
So we're going to get random announcements, but at the very least,
Do you have a plan for
Pfizer
dealing with
is
drug companies that
they're
are
the first one with
responding
like an announced
and
benefit
only by
of the
raising prices
3-year
overseas as
break.
opposed to
But
lowering
then they're going to announce a lot more shit, it looks
responding.
like.
I understand that.
But I just
question
don't know
very
the
well, but
timing
they're
of it. But
responding
for
by
now,
lowering
that's going to
prices.
be great.
They're
I hope
helped
it's
by
the
lowering
start of
prices.
something, but
there's a price at which
we'll
they can't
see.
sell.
It's probably going to be
And
drip
they're
fed.
helped by lowering prices. In the case
And
of
it sounds like
Alberta,
they're
in the
doing
case
this
of Eli
as part of
Lilly,
the shutdown too, because
the
he
fact
just
is
said they're going to
our
be able to
prices are
like
coming down
operate
massively.
and do
You see, that's
healthcare
just
stuff,
a few
even
of
if
the
the
basics.
government shut down.
But they're coming
which is
down
what
much
people
more
were
than that
worried
with
about and
many
what
drugs.
Democrats were
And,
trying to blame Trump
over
for.
1,000%.
So I think this is a little more strategic as well.
Reduction, and we'll show you that next week because we have some of them on the board next week where you have over 1,000% price
Be a
reduction.
good day for the long term.
No,
Spotify
what's going to
didn't get
happen
fucked.
is you're going to have the market will kick in. This way, the market kicks in.
Yeah,
the other
Pfizer
way
and
was just
Abbott.
basically.
We got a lot of work.
It was
to
just
do.
a form of control. You were stifling the market. Yeah.
Following up on Brian,
At this point, is a shutdown inevitable? And how would you describe the negotiations with Democrats yesterday? Are more meetings scheduled?
So nothing is inevitable, but I would say it's probably likely because they want to give health care to illegal immigrants, which will destroy health care for everybody else in our country. And I didn't see them bend even a little bit when I said we can't do that. Okay?
Can I ask a question of Dr. Oz, Administrator Oz? If there is no deal reached on the Obamacare subsidies with the Democrats, is there anything that CMS can do to lower those, to mitigate the increases of those Obamacare?
Yeah, and ban indicator is hit today.
Not really,
Again,
but
I've
we have
already
time.
cashed out
We have time till the end of the year to
So.
make the changes. I know the president is evaluating, but we should have a clean, continuing resolution.
Kind of makes
get
sense.
past this budget process as it
So
has
think about
happened
it.
so
The
many
band
times.
indicators were
and allow
high,
the
it
president
officially hit,
and
and
leadership
then
some freedom to be able to
That's
put some
on the
good
day
ideas
with
in
the
front
Trump
of
rumor on
the
healthcare.
legislative bodies.
Remember, we had the healthcare rumor early.
And undocumented immigrants
We actually do have time for that.
not eligible for the health care subsidies that Democrats are demanding. So can you clarify, what are you talking about when you say Democrats want to protect their health care?
So when an illegal person comes in, a person who came into our country illegally, therefore breaking the law, and look, we all have big hearts. I have a bigger heart than you do. They're all
Amen.
breaking the law, and they're coming into our country.
Amen. I'm gonna start
And
saying
we
that
just,
to people,
as a
bro.
country, cannot afford to take care of millions of people who have broken the law coming in.
Oh, dude,
we want
I've-
them to come into
I've
our country,
never
but
felt
we want
that
them to
so
come in
hard,
legally.
bro.
Now we have a
I
strong
know
border,
exactly
very
what he's
strong border,
saying.
thanks to
It sounds
Christie
terrible when
and
you
Tom
say it out
Homan
loud,
and
but
the whole group.
oh, I know
They've done an
exactly what
amazing
he's
job at the
saying.
border. I mean, we had a
He's
border that
saying,
was
you
reckless.
fucking
We had a border
demons,
that
you
was
guys
a
don't even
disaster.
care.
They were coming in by the
You ain't
millions.
even
I
real.
say
I got a
25
bigger
million
heart than
people.
you
You're
do.
saying
What are you
less, but
talking
I say
about?
25 million people came in illegally. And no system can take care of the health care of all of those people that came in. Now, a lot of them have gone out. We have over 11,000 murderers. We got many of them out. Many of those people have been taken out of the country, brought back to where they came from. In some cases, put in prison because they're so dangerous, we don't want to take them out. we have to watch him. We don't want him
He low-key
coming
has
back.
been. He took a little break,
But if you look
yeah.
at what's happened in Washington, D.C. right now, it is such a place. I just drove through it, and it's clean and nice and beautiful, and people are walking around, and they're not afraid of being mugged. We haven't had murders. We haven't had anything happen in a long time. It took us 12 days to make it very good. It took us 20 days to make it beautiful. And now we're going to Memphis. But I think we should always keep a presence here, because if we don't keep a presence, it's going to come back never like it was, because we got rid of 1,700 career criminals. You know what that is?
EEOC,
One
Equal
career
Employment
criminal could give you a
Opportunity
lousy
Commission,
reputation for danger,
sues Apple
because they commit
for
many crimes a
religious
day in some
discrimination and
cases.
retaliation
But Washington,
practices.
D.C. is an unbelievable example.
So I
of
don't
what
think
can
it'll move
happen.
this stock unless
and now
it
we're
gets
going,
legs
as you know,
in
to
court.
Memphis, which was very similar to Washington, very dangerous. And we're there, and we're working along very well with the governor, the mayor. A lot of these Democrat mayors, you know what they don't want to have us do well, because if we do well, it makes them look bad, and they shouldn't feel that way. If I were a Democrat and I was a governor or mayor, I'd be calling Trump. I'd say, get your troops over here, just help, because the mayor of Washington is getting a lot of credit for what we did, a lot of credit. But the beauty is, isn't it nice, seriously, you walk down the street, you're not going to be mugged, you're not going to be hit. We had a meeting about 3-4 months ago, and I was saying to the media, how many of you people have been threatened
all the
mugged
healthcare,
or
or not
accosted
healthcare, hotels.
during your walk
casinos
to the
dropping.
White House? And they said, we don't walk to the White House anymore. But the answer was, remember, Brian, almost everybody's, look at this guy. They even attacked this big, strong guy, right? Didn't you get attacked? Did you? But, yeah, just take a look at the other guy, right? What happened to the other guy? I don't know. Those other guys are pretty tough. They're tough with a gun in their hand, right? And, you were hit pretty hard. But almost everybody was. And now,
Pfizer-specific terms remain confidential.
Anybody been accosted in the
Large
last 3
majority
weeks?
will be offered at savings as high as
If I would have
80.
said that
average saving is 50%.
6 months ago, half the hands.
That's
would have
coming
been
out now.
raised.
The Pfizer
No,
company
we have a very
putting it
safe
out.
city now. The country's going to be
but
safe.
then
We're
they're
doing one
saying
at a
most of
time,
the
and
details
we'll be
are
going to
confidential.
Chicago. I told you this, sir. Union Pacific, head of the railroad. He knows this country very well. Started off as a
You had a
very
dryer
low-rung
delivered at
employee of the Union
12:55 and it
Pacific.
got
He's now chairman. He
stolen by
came to me and he
1:12?
said, "Sir, save Chicago.
That's
it's a great
amazing.
city. It's going down fast."
I would put another
We had
one out
11
there and
people
then leave your
killed over
business
the last
card
couple
and let
of
them
weeks.
know we're
11 people
hiring.
killed.
And tell them that's
48
their
shot.
prepayment.
That's
'Cause
not
I can't even get
that's a war
contractors to
zone.
move shit
There's
that
no
fast,
city
bro.
in the world like that.
So,
and then we have
honestly,
to
if
listen
they're
to
hired,
this
let me know.
Pritzker get up. I know
I
him
would
well.
hire
They threw
them.
him out of his business, and the family threw him out of the business because he's a loser. But we have to listen to Pritzker get up. He should call me and say, get the troops in. You ever hear that? 11 people over a week and a half killed. And I think it's 48, when you add it up, 48 people shot. And then I have to listen to a governor say how nice it is. It's a wonderful experience. Now, what is a wonderful experience is D.C. People are eating in the restaurants. They just opened 2 new restaurants, which hasn't worked in years. And we had it pretty good 4 years ago. We were just
didn't
getting
do
ready to
push-ups.
do this.
We did it on the
But
first
we did
hour.
it
I
right.
gotta do,
And, we have a big
gotta do
victory
some
in the
neck stretches.
Supreme Court. It's called merit. And so that includes the military. Our soldiers, did you see what they look like? These guys, they look like serious soldiers. They weren't playing games. And they went in there and they did a fantastic job. And Washington, D.C. is
Got a
now a
couple tech
beautiful,
names
safe
coming down
city.
while bonds are
The
catching a bid.
restaurants are
It's all been
thriving.
healthcare
The
so
people
far.
are walking down the street holding their husband or their boyfriend's hand, and they're not worried about being raped or mugged or shot at. And it's been an amazing thing. And we'll do that in every city. We'll do them sort of one at a time. We'll do a couple at a time. And we have a tremendous force because, as you know, in recruitment numbers, when we put out, 2 years ago, when Biden would put out recruitment, nobody would join. Nobody wanted to be in the military. Nobody wanted to be police. It was just announced this morning. You probably saw my speech over with the military, with the generals, admirals. Record numbers of people signing up for the Navy, the Army, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Space Force. I love Space Force. That was my baby. But we have record numbers of people signing up, and that includes police department, fire department. So, it's
All right,
been an
bro, I'm
amazing
gonna go
thing.
bathroom.
Well, we're going to have
You
another meeting next
usually
week on
finish
this.
these
We
by
have
the time
another
I need
great
to pee,
company
bro,
coming in,
'cause I'm getting
similar
over this.
kind of numbers.
My bathroom schedule
but
is
we're going to
synced
show
up.
you
We
some
gotta fucking go, bro.
1,000% drops in prices. There has never been anything like this in the history of medicine.
Carbo, bathroom,
And it's
we
an
gonna
honor.
wrap
And
this
Albert,
shit
I
up,
want to
dog.
thank you, and I want to thank everybody
Okay, he's
behind
wrapping
me
it up, too.
because you are a great team. We have a great team. Everybody says you have a great cabinet. It's a great team. So thank you, Bobby. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Can you help us? I can't shake this feeling that there's something they ain't tell us. Don't believe the record because the data was embellished. They can't understand me. So now I'm overzealous. I'm really jealous. The steak looks delicious. The wolves look magnificent. The truth looks vicious. Government benevolent. It's such a pretty prison. Fit me in your prism. Make all my decisions. So Chattadonia. Not bad, bro. Perfect timing. I should have set it up. I thought he was gonna... Dude, we've heard so much Trump today. Holy crap. But yeah, we had him in the morning. Then you had that. I think he might even be on the schedule again. But that drug stuff is big. And you saw it created a whole set of plays there. I mean, the last hour or so. You got a little pop there on tech and a couple of others. But generally, I do think that was... just a lot of new news and new info with healthcare. So remember, we've been waiting. Healthcare has been in the gutter. People are not expecting growth. And then we've heard stuff about the tariffs, but we didn't really get much. So that's your first development in a while, and it's kind of surprising. I mean, I did not expect an actual lowering of drug prices to both be a priority and occur so fast. So yeah. But other than that, baby. Dun, 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 dun. That's a perfect segue into Philo, don't you think? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So let me set this up and then we'll move on over. But if you guys, I want you to have a good day. It's already been a good, I told you this morning it's going to be a good day, right? I think it was. So it's going to be a better day, and it's already a good day, but I want you to have a good day. So if you don't want to hear Jesus spiritual life talks, you're not going to like Philo, and I would hate to have to deal with you. And I would hate to have you go through that when it's totally avoidable. You know what I'm saying? So do what you need to do, but you don't want to hear any of that talk. I think it'd be wise to stay your ass wherever the video takes you. But other than that, we're going to move on over. I hope it takes you there. Can we get much higher long term? I got a good one, bro. I got a good one. Oh, I got a sick one. Oh, it's sick, dude. I love it. I love life. I hope you love life. I don't love life because of things. I love life because I have a breath. You know that? And do you realize your breath is a sign? This ain't even Philo. I'm just telling you for the people who going back at it, Philo. Just know, my brother, you're already alive. Your authority has been given to you in the breath of God. It is in you right now. So amen, amen, amen. All right. On that note, let's go. If you guys want to go to Philo, it should take you there. If not, it wasn't meant to be. But you have a good day, and make sure you build the habit of paying attention and buying things that you're going to use. So don't pay attention to stuff you're not going to use, and go use this time. You know, I used my first couple of hours to make some money. I really did. We had some good opportunities and good plays, and you see why I focused so hard on that, and now I could do this, and we'll see what happens. But other than that, Chad, I love you. God bless you. God bless America. Thank you to the veterans as well. I will see you there. October is tomorrow. I know. Peace.